This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
What, did you just realize something there, Alfie?
We both were like,
did.
oh.
Show
wait,
starting.
We should put on headphones.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's our typical Tuesday gathering. Welcome to everybody. The chat room is filling up. But I noticed the chat room, I think, only started to fill up because we're 10 minutes late in coming to air. And they're like, well, where the fuck are these people? That's what I think people are concerned about, is where we are.
I don't. I know. I also love that Meow Cal needs subtitles.
Yeah.
Because we've got some Francois.
I go good.
That's all.
Omelette du fromage.
Yeah, I'm with you in there.
That's all I know. That's all I fucking know.
I'm with you. Whatever, bonjour, mon ami. Isn't that
My
hello,
friend.
my love?
Oh,
my
my
friend.
My friend, we're gonna need
Bonjour. That's the only one I know.
Bonjour.
But, kind of.
yeah. You watch
Ish.
the gay version of Beauty and the Beast enough,
Apparently, well, not in Alabama.
Nothing.
or Russia.
Can't have a gay character, but there's nothing wrong with her falling in love with a
Yeah.
buffalo.
Named Fufu, right?
What the hell is that?
Because that was a shock to everyone's system. Fufu is gay?
No.
No, or is it Le Pew? What is that character's name?
Which one? The
The one that-
candlestick?
No, the one that follows around.
Oh, the little
Oh,
fat
Pepe Le-
one that
follows around Gaston.
Yeah. He's in love with Gaston.
Oh, I know. I haven't seen the movie in so long, I don't know.
I'm awfully good at expectorating. Although I hate spitting, I find that to be the most clever lyric in any song.
Oh.
No one spits like Gaston.
Oh.
I was like, where did they spit? I don't know what's happening.
Because
got
remember that
confused.
then he spits.
Yep, now
I like that anybody, and I read a little brief, I was going to do the story, but I didn't think it was going to be that entertaining. Anybody,
Well, now we'll find out.
Anybody that wants to chastise Disney for, gay character, gay days at Disney, all this shit, I don't give a fuck who you are. Disney doesn't exist without homos. I'm just letting you know that right now. Artists that have drawn, singers that have sung, writers of the stories.
Yeah, you pull back that curtain, it's just two
no.
homos
Right.
and an iron. You know what I mean?
Right, and a dead mouse that they're
Yeah.
like, can we just draw pictures of it and let
No,
it
the
go?
mouse is running in the wheel to keep that whole fucking thing working. Keep making those two queers coffee. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, but I just...
That mouse got a job to
That's
do.
funny.
I just think it's so funny when people like, we have to boycott the gays. Or like, your
No.
world does not exist. Literally does not
Yeah.
exist.
Singing princesses.
Right.
Think that through.
Think that through.
Who brought
Yeah.
that to you?
Right, right.
Who does their hair?
Right.
For real.
Design the gown, all that shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Correct.
Plan the party, for God's sakes.
Look
That's
at
a good
Disney.
call.
Look at Kellyanne Conway. Look at the good gays
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Because
seriously.
there's a woman living without the gays.
Without. Right. She's she's the Knott's Berry Farm.
But, I mean,
I thought you were going somewhere else
But
with the
surely
knot.
her mother or someone told her about cream rinse. At some point, she heard those two words
You've
together.
got to think. She just
I
did
mean, I
a...
don't even want her to get to conditioner. I want her at like
No.
1970s.
She was
cream
on
rinse aisle, VO5.
last Sunday morning.
And then they'll tell two
For those of
friends.
you outside of the United States, I'll say
that's-
on Sunday mornings here in the United States, CBS Network has a show called Sunday Morning. It's a 90-minute news show.
What day is it on?
Sunday mornings, typically. Traditional spelling. Anyway, they had a story with Kellyanne at home with her kids and her husband and all this kind of stuff. And I thought for sure when they started to interview the husband, I'm like,
Bannon?
I thought for sure, I'm like, oh, we're gonna go the Sarah Palin route on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, not Sarah Palin, Michelle Bachmann.
We knew he meant.
Okay, yeah, same girl, almost.
Similar.
But not. I mean, but her husband wasn't. But it was interesting. Even in the interview, I thought, okay, she's at home. Like, she's not rushed. She's at home. You'd think I would think, could she have done her hair then? No.
Were you rushed?
just
Still,
showered.
still not.
Right.
But I mean, she wasn't running between, lie to lie to lie. She was at home. I'm thinking she's got all of her brushes and all of her stuff to make herself as
And that
as
lonely bottle of cream rinse. Never been touched.
under the sink.
Yeah. Like my rape whistle. Never been touched.
Doesn't work.
It's just there for looks.
No,
Oh my
it
God.
works. I
It's
tried
just
out
brutal for
I give
her.
it practice runs, just no takers.
He wants to blow it.
There you are drinking all that wine and didn't give that thirsty hair one sip.
Oh my God.
Oh, hey, what the hell is that, Avant? What is
Wow.
Holy cow.
Now we need.
I, don't know
Yeah.
what the hell. I can't do that.
Now I'm completely.
I'm schwitzing
with
over
Meow
that.
Cow.
I'm schwitzing. By the way, we are down one cast member just for the part of the show. Again,
Joey
in
thinks
these-
Cat looks pretty.
in
today.
these few weeks before our Pride, which is really just like a couple weeks away, Kat Carlson is on the VIP bar committee. And so every other Tuesday, she has to be part of a meeting that runs, I don't know when it's over. But she said that she was taking beer again because that makes the meetings go better. So I kind of think they excuse her early,
Yeah.
which is fine for her. She doesn't give a shit. She doesn't really need to listen to all the rest of that crap because she's only got one job to do, and the rest of that shit doesn't matter to her.
Yeah. Let's focus on my part so I can leave first.
We've only got two jobs because in addition to both of us being involved in that VIP tent bar thing, she and I will be doing the parade on Sunday morning as well. And we just realized today, or I just realized, like, oh, I don't have any script yet. I have no idea what the fuck any of this is. And I have to edit all that shit. But it's all good.
Who's the Grand Marshal? Stacy? Did I understand
Honestly,
that right?
I could not tell you. I don't know. I bet she'll know when she gets here, but or it's probably online. But I honestly don't know who the Grand Marshals of our parade are. I do know one of the entertainers this year is the lovely and talented Belinda Carlisle.
Oh.
That's
I
one of
get
them.
weak.
I don't know why, but for some reason, the way he said that, you just look like Al Franken. As gosh darn it, people like me. You just look to your eyes to the side. Lovely and talented. Belinda
Well,
Carlisle.
I was actually double checking in my head to make sure that I had the right name because I was.
Correct.
Coconut from the 80s girl rock group. Belinda Carlisle.
Right.
Checks all boxes. What's the Venn diagram?
I get
what's
weak
that called?
when I look at her.
The Venn diagram where the two boxes meet. 80s cocaine, girl rock group, Venn diagram, Belinda
And
Carlisle.
her lovely song "Epileptics in the Sand," or "Circles in the Sand." I'm sorry, one of the two.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
She is responsible for some of the worst
Worst
songs of the 80s. Oh, God damn.
Now-
Yeah, but those songs come on. I'm not gonna lie. And
Because I actually
I'm like,
believe whatever you just said is a song title. Because I could imagine her singing. some-
"Circles in the Sand" was it? I always
Yeah.
used to call it "Epileptics in the Sand."
I would believe she would sing that song.
Nail the other foot down. No, you just go in a circle.
Oh, baby, you know what that's worth. Oh.
If you don't know who
I
Belinda
have a
Carlisle
question.
is, she
That
was
was a fantastic imitation.
part of the Go-Go's. For those of you who don't know who the solo artist Belinda Carlisle.
Okay, so
Yes.
so you prefer Belinda Carlisle though to the?
Natalie Cole.
Yeah,
I was actually going to say the.
Natalie Cole. The coke addict, Belinda Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely girl, knew her well.
Apparently. I see that.
She had she really did. Things were going well for her. A couple of good go-go albums. Their first solo album was fantastic. And then, I don't know, somebody slipped her something and she lost her damn mind. She went full Cool in the Gang.
Yeah.
Cool.
Full on.
Oh, cool. Again,
You know,
that's
She's
jungle
fresh.
boogie. Right. They go from like this hot, funky band to she's fresh, exciting. She's so
exciting to me.
I feel like you guys should
Just
be playing
Ethel
the
Merman.
organ.
Ethel Merman redoes all of the Belinda Carlisle hits. It's
And
lovely.
one by Cool in the Gang. That turns out was written specifically for her.
Funny. I never paid attention to that.
Oh, Jungle Boogie! Can you just hear her? I would love
Every
to.
band has that. Every singer has that sad day where you're like, really? Somebody sold you that shit.
Stop doing that.
Yeah.
There you- She's not afraid anymore. Not anymore. She's not. Look at her go.
Baby, do you know
That's worth.
It's gonna be stuck in my head.
That's all.
And I'm living in an 80s kind of hell, anyways, because the Sirius Radio, how do you say that?
Yeah.
Serious?
Well, I found out my new car has it currently. We don't know who's paying for it yet, but it has it.
They give you like a 90 days whenever they sell the car.
Oh.
They want to get you hooked. 80s on 8 or some shit.
Yeah, it's the 80s channel.
Every time my music turns off,
Right.
the 80s starts, and I get like just enough time to remember how to turn off my car between turning off the radio and turning off the car of some 80s song blaring at me.
So you get the hook of one song.
One song, yeah.
And then
I've
it
been
stays
coming
with
on
you?
Eileen for like 3 days.
Wow. 8675309. Oh, shut the car off.
You got the beat. I hear you.
You got it.
Oh, it's got
Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do?
What do you do? It's fair. It really is a fair question.
Sure. I mean, you got to do something else. Jesus.
Good point.
Come on, do something for Christ's sakes.
Love of God.
So what did you do this week, Manara?
Manara.
Well, that's new.
She's Jewish.
I'm Jewish suddenly, and it's.
In my defense, I was about to pronounce it correctly, and a grape got caught in my teeth.
Of course it
Oh, the
did.
tragic
Marnie-
grape
These
incident.
are the
Marnie
things
would
I
have been a big
hear.
spit of grape at you. Manara
Exactly.
kept my mouth shut.
I hear that. I don't know. What week is it? I always get so confused.
Early March, 27. Picture.
2017. I actually wrote down 2014 on a form today.
Oh, you went
For some reason, 3 years ago. Well, it was happier times.
Well, that was Huey Lewis in the news.
Well, it was.
Back in time. We're going to
Oh,
the
right.
80s.
Well,
you know.
still going on that, are you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck
It's
to
okay.
that. All right.
Get out of my dreams.
Stop it. No, that's not even.
That's a car too far.
That's
Get into my car.
that's not even.
Get in the
fair.
backseat, baby.
That's right.
Oh, see, that's.
It's bad.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
You.
Get out of my car.
Get out of me. Car.
Get out of me.
I forgot
My
about
car.
that.
That's
Get out
right.
of me.
Get out of me.
So what'd you do? Quit trying to deflect with Billy Ocean.
Yeah. Like you do. Yeah. I just don't know. It really that none of this changes. Like week to week, like I'm the fucking poster child for Ginkgo biloba, except I'd forget to take it.
Yeah.
You know. I just have no idea what's happening anymore. Truly just work. Like it's been fucking insane. Just
Yeah.
there right around this time if I went back and listened to a show last year around this time, I think that I would find that I was probably saying similar things. Not that forgetting the week, that's just normal.
Is
But
the spring time of the year? Is it always go a little?
Yeah, you know
off?
how you kind of forget and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh my god, it's crazy again." And then if you actually took a step out of yourself and went, I kind
This
of
feels
feel
familiar.
like the end of February, beginning of, and I all of a sudden the higher ups go, we found this and this and this and this. We didn't fucking pay attention to it for the last 11 months.
Yeah. Why today?
And why does it have to be due tomorrow? You know, if it's been that way, at least give us some time here. So, yeah, I have been just up ridiculous hours and just trying to get some stuff done. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
Getting some stuff done at the house. And that's about it. Just boring. Boring.
Yeah. Same here.
Boring.
Just I worked the last 5 days, so 60 some hours and 5 straight days. It was just work, sleep, and then today I actually looked at the house and I was like, okay,
I have
maybe
been working.
put a dish away
Right.
in that work sleep cycle. And but I had to run. Got up today, missed a phone meeting, which is an easy way to make money that I missed, and but ran around, did some quick errands. I was gonna do the wake and bake and
Not giving a shit about the meeting itself.
right.
It's the money he could have made from the meeting.
oh.
I don't
The
disagree with
education
that.
We're
from
living in a material world, kids.
the education or potential of saving lives that he could have got from this
Love
meeting.
that, yeah.
Not inconsequential.
I feel like he already knows what he needs to know.
What if there's
I feel
something?
like it.
What if there's something new?
They'll
Well,
tell
then
me.
they're dead. Or in the
There's a
middle
note,
of it,
Val.
they'll come running in and somebody will go,
Oh,
remember
here's-
when you were in that meeting and made all that money? And you can be like, oh,
Damn it! No, I wasn't there.
damn.
So
How much money did you make, you'd say?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tell me to round that to the dollar.
could you?
So just got up today and had to run errands had to like drop some stuff at the dry cleaners for the trip this weekend and going to see Harrison one more time for a couple shows.
Oh,
and
that'd be nice.
No, you're very-
What's this week? What shows?
I thought it was Finding Neverland, but I guess it's An American in Paris
Okay.
and Fun Home. So we're seeing
that'd
both.
be
We switched
awesome.
the Amazon in downtown LA for that.
No, we're
so
going
I
to
gotta
Finding Neverland this weekend.
Okay,
Here.
so I'm
Yeah.
not. So clearly, I'm not seeing Finding Neverland because it'll be there. That's what I'm seeing next
Yeah.
month.
Okay.
So I know some of the shows are some of the seasons the same,
Okay.
and some are different.
So is Fun Home supposed to be coming here?
It'll probably be next season because it's on a different tour.
okay.
The Pantages tour, the Pantages season is got a few of the same shows, and then some of the shows from our next year
Okay.
in here, and I think This is at the Amazon, or the Mark Taper Center, whatever that's called.
Okay.
So I think that'll be part of next year with Hamilton. They'll do Fun Home.
Oh, okay. Because I really want to see that.
I do too.
Yeah.
You know, lesbians singing about keychains. What could
Yeah.
possibly go
what
wrong?
Could possibly go wrong?
So I mean, that was just it. So,
I guess.
There was a.
and I'll talk about what I did this morning in entertainment. How are you so tan?
I was at the street fair on Saturday, and I sat for a minimal amount of time in a golf cart, going up and down the street doing what I had to do. All of a sudden, I'm like, whew, gotta get out of the sun.
Yeah.
Because you'll notice there's stripes for the sunglasses.
yeah.
wear. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
That's how.
in Fun Home has, and it might be the first track.
Honey, what's this? What's going on? What's going on?
What's this? It may be the first track, but when we were in Michigan, and I have, you're driving in an unfamiliar place, and you don't know one ways here and this and that. There are all kinds of the different streets. We're listening to Erin's music off of her phone and Fun Home. Like when you, well, speak of the devil, when you
That's Erin, not Fun Home. Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
Not a metaphor.
No. When you turn on your phone or you turn on the car, it automatically goes to a specific song. At least it did in this car on her phone. And whatever song it is from Fun Home is a horn. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I'm sitting at a turn light. And
This horn just comes on.
And it's loud. I mean, and it really sounds like someone's laying on the horn. And I'm like, what? And I normally don't get, but I had no idea where I was. And then Erin hears the horn, so she's like, go. There's nowhere to go. Like, I can't. We're going to
go.
get hit. And there's
Lights are happening.
And all of a sudden I said, turn off your goddamn phone. She turns it off and then turns it back on. Sure enough, that was that song every time. I'm like, you make sure and change that, because I thought that's dangerous.
Yeah, and when I there's some song in my phone that starts with, like, it sounds like somebody's breaking glass, and it always scares the
Joel?
shit out of me. Oh yeah, it is.
There you go.
You may be right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, we've solved a mystery
I
today.
like
I feel better.
That one
already.
startles me no matter where I am. We're being attacked.
Well, it's a good thing there's a
Coming
band.
from
Battle
in the house.
stations.
It's a good thing there's a band.
Battle stations.
Very similar to hide and seek. And what did you do?
All of a sudden, he's in his car and he hears this.
It was a drive that started like any other drive. And yet, this drive was different.
Was it murder?
Was it murder?
I love that guy. I
Keith
just
Morrison.
love him.
I loved it too. Again, he's that voice is part of the Waze direction app until, I don't know, May, I think. And
That's awesome.
I keep everywhere I drive, and the joy now is in the new vehicle that I can play my music from the phone. Granted, I have Sirius and I get that, but I enjoy whatever my Apple Music or whatever's on my phone, and then the app is in the phone, so the music auto dips when he needs to give directions, but it still cracks me up. Red light, camera head, get ready for your close up. It just cracks me up every time. Every time.
I really do have to load this up for my trip.
It's just fun. To me, it's just fun. Well, I can't think of anything.
You rode in a golf cart.
Oh, Saturday was street fair. Local people of the Valley of the Sun. One of the areas in town here is called Melrose. It's the Melrose District. It's a curve. Actually, it's a curved road in between a 1 mile stretch because of somebody's inability to figure out how to measure in, I guess, the early stages of Phoenix. Because the only reason there's a curve in that road is because the point A and point B were off-centered, and when they got to one area, they're like, oh shit. So they had to make a curve in the road to make it work. Found that out from Phoenix history. But anyway, it's also...
For real?
That's 100%. It started from
Oh
the
my
north,
God, that's
and it started
ridiculous.
from the south of town.
Yeah.
And when they came towards each other, somebody had fucked up. So you'll notice that actually, if 7th Avenue would actually roll into 6th Avenue.
Okay. You're
So
going
they
straight
had to
ahead.
make the jog at the curve, like in front of Stacy's. They had to make that curve to make the street line up. That's the only reason. Out of all the fucking streets in the city, that's the only one that's got a curve in it.
That's just stupid.
Anyway,
It's interesting.
They do an
The
annual.
bent ones always bother.
They
you.
do a annual street fair where vendors and all kinds of different people, food trucks and the like. They have a beer garden in the street and all this other happy
a
shit.
garden of beer. You said?
Garden of beer. They
Oh,
grow.
how does it
pops
grow?
right up. Oh, grows.
How does your garden grow?
I love. I know there's a rest of a nursery rhyme with that. I don't know what it is.
Something.
The
Good
mayor
news
was
is you can
there.
just pee right back in the garden
The
and
mayor.
more beer.
Right, woo. Cycle.
Yeah, circle of life, baby.
The mayor was there. Now the funny thing is the reason the suntan is kind of funny. So we get there. I'm there before it starts because I have to set up computer systems in the street fair because our company provides them so they can run cards and stuff to sell tickets for the beer garden and for like the kids rides and that kind of bullshit. Which I was really surprised. People drink a lot of beer.
Oh, yeah.
Like they sold a lot of fucking.
Sky is
Saturday
blue,
yeah.
grass
No,
is
no,
green.
On a Saturday afternoon? Yeah,
No.
sure.
I get it. I get it.
I got it.
I thought for a fucking street fair. Like, come on,
Oh,
really?
no.
Oh no, Katie bar the door. Woo.
Gay, it's like the gay district #1.
One, right? Number two. Well, that's why Stacy's was
Say,
packed.
those
don't
two
even
homos
think
from
we
Disney
need-
got a
yeah.
day off. That's what they are.
Right? See?
Leave the mouse. Let's
Yeah.
go.
You gotta go.
exactly
Gotta
it.
go to the
So-
street fair.
The funny thing is,
There's beer
The guy that was in charge of
garden.
the guy that I had to be in contact with, that I was in charge of getting me all set up and everything. All of a sudden, he got tired of running around because like I had to go back and forth between the two terminals to make sure everything was right and the network was good and all this happy shit. Well, he's like, he goes, "How long are you gonna be?" And I'm like, "I gotta do this until this is right. Like I've got to make sure. Plus, I have to support this." He's like, "Here," gave me his golf cart and he goes, "Get it done." I'm like, "All right." So he took off and he got another golf cart and he was gone. I had a golf cart all fucking day. So I would go to Stacy's and I would have a beverage. I was with Bootsy for a while and everybody. Well, then I would find out that they needed a roll of thermal paper for the receipts or something happened. So he and I would put our drinks down, jump in the golf cart, drive all the way around, drive down, get in the deal.
I
So
would have paid good money.
Yeah,
it was.
no
This one
kidding.
tooling around
I
in a golf
wish that there
cart
would have
in
been a
that
video. It was
That
so
would-
funny.
That would have been
So funny.
fantastic.
And how important did I feel to roll back up in front of Stacy's in my stretch golf cart? Because it was one of those that you can haul shit on.
Me,
Oh, yeah. Oh, found the horn on the floor. Beep, beep. And I would just pull right back up and go right back into the bar.
Cash money. I would have given cash
And then
money.
he had
It was-
the blower. Get out of my way.
Yeah.
It was so
Get
fucking
off
funny.
my lawn.
It was so funny. So anyway, so that was Saturday.
Whose shirt is that?
It was Saturday. Sunday,
Did you think through that?
I cleaned a lot on Sunday. I got into a mode of just cleaning, so I literally I pulled stuff out. Actually, I pulled the refrigerator out, got underneath it, cleaned all the dust and dirt and hair, like cat hair and
There's
stuff.
no reason to do that.
Sure there is.
Yeah, there is.
Kidding.
I mean, I do it probably.
Although I learned that because of I
prob-
learned it from watching you.
I do that probably annually, and it was just this weekend. I cleaned all that out. It's lovely, clean as a whistle.
I had my house inspection for the refinance.
Yeah.
So the house was shitty clean.
Now, one,
shockingly
I'm
clean.
going to assume
I
out
can't
of
speak.
out of this
I just woke up.
out of the inspection, it is a house.
Yes.
There you go. Yep.
Good.
There were concerns
Oh,
that it wasn't a house.
got it. Did anybody ask what you gonna do with this backyard here? Nothing.
Just leave it.
No pool, no interest.
No interest, no grass. I mean, you could have like a.
Well, you know, my first question would be, "There's a backyard."
It's that dirt area next to the garage where you keep your bike. Oh,
So
gotcha.
I still open my bathroom window. And go, "Oh shit, I have a backyard."
What am I gonna
So
do
that was
with
because I really did like clean like a motherfucker to get that
Sure.
ready. And even I was shocked by how nice the house looked. I'm like, oh, I should do this more
Wow.
often.
Yes.
And then again, I woke up today and was like, or you could just put a dish away occasionally from
That
where you
still
ate.
helps. Still. No, wait a minute. You had the inspection when?
Last Wednesday, and then the work week. No, Thursday before work, right before this all started.
So Thursday, and this is only Tuesday, and you woke up wondering why dishes weren't put away. Well, you did a lot, I guess, between those few days.
Yeah, because I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I worked 5 days in a row, so it was just like eat breakfast, fall asleep on the couch, go to bed, wake up, go to work, come home, eat
What are we-
breakfast.
what are we
so it's like
trying-
breakfast dish after breakfast.
What are we trying to pay off? Because normally you don't work a
Oh,
Sunday.
so I can be off next weekend.
Gotcha. Good. I see.
So it's, you know what I mean.
Swapping. Robbing Peter
Yeah,
to
so
pay Paul.
I go back tomorrow and finish, and then I'm done for the week, and then I don't work till the end of next week.
Oh, gotcha.
it gets me a week off.
So many things.
I know,
happening.
so
Very busy.
minty,
Yes.
minty
Minty.
things.
No, other than that, my neighbor, she's getting ready to have the rock put in her front yard and be done with that. So she dug up some plants that she didn't want, gave them to me. So I'm going to transplant them into my backyard. So just trying to give a little. Everything's good. Met a few more neighbors, which I think is kind of great. It's, if you can meet your neighbors and they're not psycho killers, that's good. So
It's a bonus.
it was enjoyable to meet a couple neighbors to make sure that we all know on the neighbor. Everybody knows the neighbors.
Right.
And
It is smart.
I'm on a new campaign of. I don't understand this. You have an electrical aversion, but you have all those lights in your front yard.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. I do not understand, and it drives me crazy. And some of them were like, well, it costs money. Why the fuck can't you have a porch light on all night long? Why do you need your house to be completely dark? I don't get that. LED lights cost 25 cents a year to run for 10 hours a day, every day for a year.
No, I never did until I got robbed. No,
I mean, no, it's not 25 cents a day. Like for the whole fucking year, it'll cost you like $2
Sure.
to run a whole light for the whole year. And that's to me, it's just, so I've got more people now doing lights because they're like, well, they saw the kid that was trying to come back here.
Yeah.
There's still shit out of my carport. And then there was a car issue. Somebody broke a windshield. And there was something else down the street. And the funny thing is they're coming to me going, did your cameras catch it? Did your camera? I'm like, you're 4 houses down from me. No, my cameras are for my house. I can
call
see
Trump.
here. Right. So anyway,
No, Obama.
so I'm educating neighbors on cameras and everybody's going to ramp up. Just, we need more
They
security.
may be able to do.
Trying to make a joke here?
No, not at all.
okay.
Actually, that.
It looked like that's where we were
just
going.
me. That's just my face. A deal, like a group deal, because they're doing that in our neighborhood.
That I hadn't heard of, but
I can look up in that Nextdoor app because someone said, would anyone be interested in getting some cameras and
'cause
doing whatever? And
we're-
they just
I want
contacted.
we're going to do two things. I want them to have other cameras, but what Matt and I are working on, I may have already mentioned this. We're doing, they've got the cameras that they have. If you pay attention when you're driving out and about, you'll see them. Sometimes there's little cars that are outfitted with the cameras on the corners, and what they do, those cars have software like their laptops in the car, and the little cameras are scanning license plate numbers.
Okay.
Predominantly for cars that are either stolen or on a repossession list. So the way that the software works is it scans, like they just literally drive up and down parking lots. They'll go to nightclubs, they'll go to shopping malls and all this kind of stuff. And what happens is the camera detects the license plate number, dings in the laptop that, hey, that's a hit. And then the people that are driving around get money for the hits. Like they get paid for whatever, but then it's dispatched and they bring a record and they come and they repossess the car for these deadbeat people who, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, what we want to do is get those cameras and we want to strategically place them on the block so that it scans license plates. So if there's an incident, we can go back based on time. And if a car was in the neighborhood and hit a house or burglarized, we can then go back and potentially have a license plate number.
That would be pretty good.
I found out that there's a lot of gated communities and other communities that actually have them all over the place, and every car that comes through is documented for that reason. If there's ever an incident, we know who came through or what happened.
Well, the husband did it.
Always did it. Yeah. So anyway,
It was bad.
there's that. A lot of, it's all that kind of shit.
Very busy.
Yeah, but this time of the year, it's beautiful. Weather couldn't be better. It's getting ready to get warm though, a little warmer, but I'm still okay with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm done with winter.
It's not rain. It's not windy.
I've
Beautiful
had
days.
enough.
But now and I don't care because with my house it's always dusty anyway, just the dogs coming in and out and whatnot. But between the two pine trees that we have, lots of green.
Right.
Oh, that shit.
That's the only disadvantage of those trees.
God.
They're beautiful and
Yeah.
they shade lovely, but those needles, geez, just when
not
I was
the
there.
needles coming down, the green, like the
The pollen and stuff. Right,
the
right.
pollen is just that gets insane, and it's going to at some
Right, it
point,
does. It covers
it'll
everything.
Cover my
I
front porch.
totally forgot that.
Oh, it's like those fucking bougainvilleas, those weeds.
Right. But
Luckily,
otherwise,
the
the
voodoo doll against my
needles-
neighbors is working, so that shit's not coming in my house. I hate that red shit everywhere.
The needles are horrible.
I was at your house the other day for 5 minutes, and I came out, and they were just all over. In fact, I had the sunroof open and like in there.
Oh,
like,
in it.
No,
Sure.
drive me
Sure.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm still and have to pull like just handfuls of that kind of stuff out. Open up the thing. It's just stupid.
Yeah,
But
but
you're
it's a
right.
shame because they're lovely trees, great shade.
But
The
that
neighbors are
green-
the same way. They've got a similar tree to that. And in certain times of the year when it really whips up in the wind, this whole damn street is just covered in those
Yeah.
fucking needles.
Yep. And when it's the pollen stuff, I mean, a lot of and knock on wood, but I don't have an issue. Wouldn't that suck?
Yeah. Meow Cal, I remember those days too when you lived way out there and nobody.
That's funny. But yeah, that stuff. I'm just glad that I'm not allergic to it, and that Mom's not allergic to it. But it definitely
Yeah, it does.
could
it coats
impact.
everything.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Definitely.
Nasty.
Oh, heaven sakes alive.
Are you ready for Pride stuff aside from the script kind of thing?
We know what we're doing. I've just got we'll order equipment in and I'll just build the terminals for it. We just do 4. All I have to do is on Friday at load in, I go and I set all those up, make sure they're networked and done, and then I have to set up 2 terminals at 2 other bars. It's going to be one of those weekends where
Crazy.
I'm not playing at all.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, I don't give a shit. It's Pride and I'm almost 50. Who fucking cares? I'm not here to be a
Do you
circuit boy
notice
in a
how
dance
now
tent.
he's almost 50?
Yeah, well, we all are.
I know, but you need that. You always jump ahead like years.
Well, I
you
round
don't
up.
go from like.
Well, I'll be 48 in September.
correct. So you're almost.
But
40.
I'm just saying I'm round up. I'm like I'm in the zone. I can see the
3
stoplight.
years
I
away
can see
from
it
the
from my house.
from the youngest Golden Girl.
Fair enough.
I still can't get over that she was only 51.
Which one, Estelle?
No, Rue.
I thought Estelle was the youngest out of all
I
4.
did
No,
too.
Estelle was just younger than B. Arthur by like a year.
Oh,
But Rue McClanahan was like
the youngest?
12 or 13 years younger. They were in their 60s. She was only 51.
I didn't realize. I
really thought
it
she
was
was the
Estelle
youngest.
who was the youngest.
It was just because she was younger than B. Arthur.
With playing that role.
Yeah, they're like 10 or some months apart or some shit. We looked that up here once. Because I was pretty sure Rue McClanahan was
always
the
look.
youngest. Because she died first of the 3. Estelle Getty beat her, but
Right, yeah, because she did go first.
Be afraid. My internet's working lovely. Thank you.
It works lovely
you
for everybody else.
I know, but it's now whatever that thing is that you did or something.
Yes, that's been there
Makes
for
me
like a
so
month now.
happy.
I'm
I
sure it
know.
does.
I
don't
just
know.
never take the time to tell you. And I just
Good.
wanted to tell
Well,
you.
thanks. I feel better. I feel
Yeah.
validated. It's good. There's a. For the love of Pete's sakes, whatever. Anything else we need to beat up or talk about before we move on, or because I don't really know what else we got at this that we're not going to cover in other segments.
no, go to headlines. Yeah, everything else is another segment.
Yeah, Phoenix Pride is on the.
First and second. Yes, mother.
Yeah.
50 is so young. I agree. Thank you, mom. My mother's in the chat room. 50 is so young. By the way, I won't give the age away, but my mom has a birthday coming up in just a few weeks. Actually, it's less than a few weeks.
And
This
who does
month.
she share a birthday with?
Aaron.
Michelangelo,
Oh.
Aaron, David Butler.
That's right.
There's like
Oh,
4 or
wow.
5 people I
Yeah.
know that all have birthdays on the same. On the
We
same
had a
day.
picture of everyone at. I think David Butler wasn't there for at Plasma.
Could be.
Of the 3 birthday kids. Yeah, I thought that was very fun when they all found out their birthdays were the same.
Yes.
Oh. Clayton told me I looked stoned when I came in.
She did. She came in just so, hi, I'm here. I'm
That's why
like,
she was so early.
wow, what is up with you? She goes, I'm just tired. I'm like, you look stoned.
I was like, maybe.
Then she sat down on the living room floor, and I'm like,
Wow.
a chair. You can. You're welcome to a chair. She says, no, I just want to stretch out on the floor.
A chair is still a chair?
Yes, even if no one is standing there.
All right, go to headlines.
Be afraid.
Well, we're not really there yet. I got to build a break first. Then we'll get there. I didn't realize we were going to go that quick.
Some people build bridges. I build brakes.
I didn't know we were going to go that
Absolutely.
quick, so I was like, well, I want to do this too.
Get to it. Get on that.
We'll do it. Where's my we'll do this.
I'm not going to disagree with Amelia.
What is she talking about?
That Ben Carson's a fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Amen. And also, did everyone fall asleep who probably was in that auditorium? Because, he's talking like
Oh, I can't even
this,
imagine.
and then
Right.
talking about the immigrants, and how they're all alike, all of them. Oh my God,
You're killing me with
Oh
all
my
that
God.
right now.
it's too much.
It is a little bit too much.
Just listening to him on the news, I was like, thank God I'm not in a car, because I mean, like, I just would have fallen asleep.
Happens.
I'm just saying, he would be responsible.
All right. Okay, now we're ready to go. Let's see if we can make this magic happen. And then we're going to come back with headlines and the rest of our exciting story right after this.
Woo.
Oh, do this. No. That's not how this works. That's not how this works.
That's not how any of this works.
God damn it. I hate when I do that. I fuck that up.
Technical.
I'm sorry. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to build the whole thing again because we have time. And I just don't care because it just pisses me off when I fuck up. I need to spend the money on a very big piece of equipment, but I don't want to spend that much money because it's a.
And the funny thing is Kat and I are convinced you could do that off of like one cell phone.
I don't know why you people think you can run this show. I really don't understand.
Well, they really do. I,
But
on the other hand,
it
don't.
can't all be done off of that.
I don't think so at all. I couldn't do it.
Well, I'm not saying, no.
Oh, I couldn't.
No, I know. So just don't worry about it.
It doesn't mean I can't wonder.
Let me see. No, stop.
But you're not really proving you can either.
No, clearly not. Because I had it all set and then I fucked it up. I hate when I do that. One wrong move.
Yeah, we were, while he was getting that together, we were talking before.
Keep going because I'm going to make sure this is
Before-
right first.
Before you got here about taxes, because, everybody wants to see Donald's taxes. I personally don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
But they were talking about his upcoming taxes, right, for this year. And Clayton said that he was wondering about that, the fact that those aren't under audit.
Yeah.
And I said, but are they tied to if there's an audit, blah, blah, blah. And so we weren't sure of that. And then I said, does the president have W-2s?
I thought you issued a W-2.
I would think so. Right?
But he's not taking the money, so, right?
I don't believe he is. Oh, I'm sure he is.
Right, but he would have a
And I think that's why.
He wouldn't be waiting a W-2 from last year anyway. He started the job this year.
No, I know. Not from, I was just saying in general.
Oh, in general, right.
And I said, I wonder if Obama has,
And I said to her, I wonder if they also waiting on my W-2s like everybody else. That's what we were wondering about earlier.
I mean, it could be true. You don't know.
It could happen.
I mean,
But once he's done, he files this on the 5th, the 18th now.
The 18th,
whatever.
you're
Yeah.
saying, yeah.
So once they do that this year, I don't know. You file now. What are you gonna file? What can we see? What can you show us from that?
yeah.
Because that's not under audit.
But it probably will be.
Well, sure.
I mean,
Perpetual audit until
exactly.
time goes on.
Until 2020.
Sure. Or Barbara Walters.
This is-
decides.
Till he finds a
2020.
Yeah, till he finds a suit that fits.
Yeah, well, I'll wait that long. All right, we're going to try this
God, what a
again.
dick
Let's
bag.
see if it goes a little something like this.
I'm on the board of directors of this lousy company.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
30 seconds of jelly jiggling fun. This is your 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Now we got it all together. Sounders all firing off, trying to make it seem as though we know what we're doing. It's headlines. It's Tuesday. Here we go. Millennials don't want your shit.
Tens of people.
I knew it was a mannequin before I killed it.
It's a puppy. It's a puppy.
It's a run for the border wedding.
And then another one.
Car owner gives it to the critics.
And one more after that.
And Burger King offered more than a Whopper on Valentine's Day in Israel. These and other stories Marnie hasn't come up with yet right now.
She has them.
Did your internet crash?
I
after you
rang
posted about
rang
it?
every bell. Rang every bell on you this day is what I did.
Oh,
Well, but we can talk the millennials things. And I know several of you will understand this one, I'm sure. Unfortunately, I don't really have to deal with much of this because of fortunately how my mother is. So, yippee. Have you ever offered a cherished treasure to someone that you love, only to have that person react as if you were trying to give them literally the trash out of your car? Well, if so, there's a good chance that A, you're a baby boomer, and B, by recoiling, the recipient of your present could be a millennial or a Gen X child. Generally speaking, boomers born from 1946 to 64 have always loved their stuff, and adult children of these people don't want it, or not adults. Children of these people do not want them. It's not just the millennial offspring known as the Generation Y, whose birth years are very variously defined, beginning anywhere from 77 to the early 80s and ending from the mid 90s to 2000. The demographic famously values experiences over material things, and they are supposedly nomadic by nature and prefer to live in cramped apartments in urban areas rather than sprawling suburban McMansions, the story says. Unless, of course, they're saving up money to do that. They live with their family, residing with their parents in an effort to save money to buy that mansion later on. But like millennials, the Generation X predecessors are also passing on getting the sterling silver tea sets, the figurines, grandma's mahogany break front, and all the other crap that often has been handed down generation after generation. They like retro. They love the 50s, 60s like everybody else. A lot of them like IKEA because of the simple lines and clean design of things.
And the simplicity of
Right,
putting it
they
all
like
together.
it, but they don't really give a shit about all the rest of that stuff. The fact that one generation's treasures are another generation's trash is bad news indeed for the stuffed to the gill boomers who are trying to get rid of all this shit. But the kids don't want them. Found a story online that an auctioneer, like the antique markets and all the little thrift stores and stuff, are booming with some of this stuff because literally people don't want all these hand-me-downs anymore. They're done with it.
Right.
My mom has she has a 19. What I figured out, Mom. It was a 1941 Singer sewing machine that was an anniversary gift for my grandparents. He bought that when they just got married. I think it was actually their first anniversary. She's got that, but there's really not a lot that my mom has kept over there. There's a few things here and there, but it's not like entire dining room sets of shit and the entire no, we don't do all this. And I'm the same way. I have the one wooden set of furniture for my mom, but again, I don't have a huge attachment to it. Yeah. It's been in my life my entire
Here
life.
today, gone tomorrow. Don't get attached to material things.
Right. Well, in some cases
That's
I don't.
from Harold and Maude.
There's some things that I've held on to. For example, I don't smoke. Nobody in this house smokes. But one thing I've held on to because again it's been in my life. My grandfather's the ashtray that he had for so long on the kitchen on the kitchen table. Sure. I just have it because it's just it was part of that. I just thought it was kind of neat, and it could be a coin. It could be a place for coins or whatever the hell. But I just thought it was an interesting story to watch. I watched the story online about all these things. The market is just flooded with so much stuff because people are just like, some of the baby boomers have gotten to an age where they're passing on, or they just don't want this shit anymore. Right. So the market is flooded with it.
And whatever.
And I walk through antique stores because a lot of them, I'm a gay. A lot of my friends enjoy antiquing.
I'm a gay.
I'd rather kill myself, but I go along because sometimes it's fun to look at shit. And my only reaction to aisle after aisle after aisle is, I'm just gonna have to dust that fucking thing.
Well, there's that.
I mean, it keeps me from buying almost anything because I'm like, I don't want to dust that. Or, like the sewing machine, terrific. And now it's a table. Because I'm not gonna learn how to sew.
Right.
Right. But my mom does know how to sew. She sewed clothes for me for many, many years on it, and she could have.
Speaking of Di, if you're
long time ago, sir. Long time ago, Alfie.
If you're in the market for wanting to do some stuff, Di, I have a couple of things I need to get fixed, and I don't have a fucking clue. So that'd be a help.
Amina, I'll give you that. Some ashtrays are work of art. There was a lot of stuff in the 70s that were very ornate. Well, even going back further into the 40s, 50s, there's a lot of ornate ashtrays when everybody smoked. This is not one of those ashtrays. It's literally just an octagon-shaped clear glass ashtray. Nothing really special other than it was my grandfather's.
And I have to tell you, I know I'm like a minute behind on all this, but I do love all those 60s and 70s mod ashtrays.
Oh yeah, I think they're very cool.
Because those I would put other shit in. I would wash
Right.
the shit out of them.
Right. I mean, they
Get
could
the ashy smell out.
They could
And
be.
then-
You could put your grapes in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do all kinds of things with them.
Those I do enjoy because Mom.
I was
going
gonna
to
say
I do
the
want
other
a serving
thing-
bowl for my birthday.
Oh, well, I'm being find you a serving bowl. Oh, nice. Any particular color style?
No, it needs to be a whole 3 weeks of shopping. The girl that took 9 years to hang a painting and buy it.
Which looks delightful, by the way. Well done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Part of the tour as we were at Al's house for the Academy Awards was him making everybody go to his room to see that we had actually hung up the Donna Summer painting after 9 years of it sitting on the floor, wondering,
That's
well, I wonder where I'm
fantastic.
going to hang it, but I don't want to commit to any place
Yeah.
yet.
So we just moved it 1 foot above where it was already. It looks so different that 1 foot higher.
Well, you can
asshole.
see because you can see the entire picture now. It's lovely. It's a lovely thing.
When I bought my, when I bought my living room furniture, it was
Light
just,
as a feather, by the way.
Light
Oh.
as a feather. It was
Abso- I
just.
could-
It was.
I
a
could have
fucking
done
nightmare.
that myself.
Yeah, one hand.
Absolutely.
It was just a nightmare. And that lady, I think that place was called Farrah's. It was up on Bell Avenue, and who gives a shit? Because I've never gone back. But
the land is far, far away.
Don't you have a doctor up there somewhere?
yeah,
Yeah.
he died. You're not going back
It
there
was too
either.
far away.
Exactly. He died
hell
waiting
of
for
a
me to come
drive.
back. So, the nice thing was in this big showroom, and she was so sick of me by the end of a long day that she was like, go over there and have coffee. There was like a Starbucks or a coffee shop in the strip mall. She's like, and come back. And they moved all of the furniture that's currently in my living room. They rearranged they made a living room in the showroom and put that all together with the 2 lamps.
Oh.
And she built the entire thing. And when she came back, she's like, good enough? And I was like, oh yeah, but I never thought. She's like, I know you never thought it was going to go together, so I had to do it for you.
Oh.
She was, because I was like room, set up with this piece and that piece and this piece. She's like, no, stop. Pick a couch. I'll do it from there.
Oh, I like her. Can we have her over? If
She
you
was
could find
she was
her.
fantastic.
Because I'm sure she could get you into a lot of conversations about shit. She's
and,
like,
and she knew she had me because I'm like, oh my god, you just did all the work. Yep, sold.
I like you a lot.
well, can you deliver it?
'Cause
Oh,
I think,
my God,
I
yes.
think the only thing I liked was that tall lamp in the corner
Right.
and the entertainment center, and I had it between 9 different couches. And we
Yeah.
was going to be there a day if she didn't be like, you get the fuck out of the store. When you come back, I'll have your purchase wrapped.
Sure. Now, question for you, because I know you've been talking about this for the longest time. Aside from the fact that you don't know the combination of the lock that keeps your TV locked to your entertainment center, because you've lost that.
Break into my house, fuckers.
my God,
'Cause
that-
You're
you put
taking
a-
the whole thing.
You could literally put a gun to my head, and I do not know what the combination is to the
that
bike
lock.
lock I put on my TV.
But my question, I realize I should change this shot. I'm sorry. You poor people have been watching us on this ugly shot this whole time when this is a much lovelier look. What are you planning on doing? Because this entertainment center that's, I don't know, from the 50s.
we're still 2 years out.
But what do you keep saying it's going to be tomorrow. But what are you going to do without that? What's going to happen? You've got all the DVDs in it.
Oh, that's all going onto those bookshelves. That's why I got rid of all those books and all that stuff.
Okay.
And all the videos.
But what is going to go along that wall
just
with
a clean, simple wall with
I mean, who wants the stuff you read?
a table and
Silly.
just the TV, the box. That's it.
Oh.
because you're getting rid of the big speakers and because you're
Yeah,
going to do a
no more
sound
rave.
bar.
Yeah.
You're going to do a sound bar and everything. Okay, you're going to
You
simplify
don't need to
all
be
that.
at a 1975 rave.
It's not bad. I mean, the low end on those speakers is good. So I mean, if you're watching a
Oh,
heavy
yeah.
movie,
My neighbors think they're having earthquakes. They're half the shit I watch.
I have to say, I don't. Do I know what flat
I don't
pack
know what it is
furniture
at all.
is? I do, I
I want flat pack furniture.
Yeah.
Can you send a link to us? Because I need to know what this is.
Oh, I-
Is it something you just disassembles and lays within 4 inches tall? It just literally lays like a slab of wood? What is that?
Yeah, I'm like,
Or are you talking like a milk crate? The other things go in and then you just set them upside down for a chair. These are the things I need to know about.
So I definitely get that thing with it because I mean I am certainly not a Oh, shut up! They might have. They might have had a rave in 1975.
Aaron,
You don't know.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I didn't realize
It was a
that.
disco sex party.
Do you mean? And they had the little things from Halloween that they went like that.
Those
and
weren't
then the
invented yet.
rave? Okay.
It was the queen with the symbols,
Got
the
it.
finger
Oh.
symbols.
That queen.
Got it.
I know that. I know one of them in town.
Oh, I missed them.
Still shows up and all of a sudden you hear cling, 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 cling. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
No, they had
Yeah,
to.
but-
They had to do it like a you know what I mean, like real, like fast. Like they had to keep up with that beat.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
But but occasionally you just get the random snappy clippy, and then all of a sudden she's on the floor rolling and doing her
I don't
thing.
need to know what happens.
What happened?
I don't need to know what she's doing when she's having a seizure.
Aaron believes they're called discos, and I'm pretty sure that he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the Ford era. Yeah, I know. I mean, President Ford is what I meant. Flat pack furniture is at IKEA. I'm gonna be looking.
Google that.
Well, Marnie does one of the news stories that she had to come up with on the fly.
No,
I'm
because
gonna,
I had that one.
I'm gonna look for. Oh, okay, fine. I'm gonna look for flat pack furniture pictures on the old internets.
Well, we know that I like to mock the orange guy. Mm-hmm. And the rallies. First it was his inauguration, and that inauguration was the most bigly inauguration ever in the history of inaugurations, from what I understand. I don't believe it,
No.
but And then the next day, if my memory serves me correctly, like a shit ton of people got together. They called
Yeah.
it a women's march, but it was like an everybody, like
Shit
fuck
ton
you.
Shit ton of
Just
people.
a shit ton of people got
Women's
together.
march.
And and he still is having a little bit of trouble getting rallies, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have some similarities with the dumpster fire, apparently, because tens of people rally across the country in the March for Trump.
Tens of people.
Tens of people.
Both
like
of
we've
them.
always talked about our tens of listeners, and so he has tens of people rallying across the country hours after Donald Trump accused his predecessor Barack Obama of wiretapping because he's a fucking dickbag. Seriously,
Yeah,
the
no
president's
shit.
fans gathered in cities across the country to show their support. And with the help of Trump protesters, many of the crowds appeared to top dozens of people or more. I mean, for real, he's so stupid. To be sure, there were throngs of people in cities like Nashville, Tennessee, parts of Florida, and some other states. And crowds were decidedly bigger than that really sad, lonely one in Maine. But the March for Trump rallies Saturday showed a stark contrast between crowds in support of the president and the hundreds of thousands of people who swept the nation in protests over the last couple of months. According to the organizers at marchfortrump.org, which I would love it if you would look that up, please, just because. The rallies were held just for that, to support the president. President Trump has thankfully set a new course, and no matter your race, creed, color, gender, orientation, age, or anything else, traitors exploit to divide.
When you said a course, all I could think of was the theme to Love Boat. It's a course for adventure, a night of
Your
a
mind
true
on a new
romance.
romance.
Oh, a course for adventure. No shit.
Yeah, something. But the fact that they say that he's setting that new course, that no matter your race, your creed, your color, your gender, your orientation, your age, or anything else that traitors exploit
As long as you're not black
to
or Muslim.
divide, we,
Yeah.
the people, are one. Yeah, exactly, as long as you're not Muslim. Come show your support for him, each other, and our country right in the heart of our capital.
Deep in the heart of Texas. I fucked that up,
Speakers-
but you got this.
Speakers at various demonstrations rallied against the media and protesters, called for Obama and 2016 Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton to be jailed, accused the Democrats of forgetting 9/11 by electing the 44th president, and generally lamented people lamenting Trump. An outbreak of violence was also documented at the Capitol building in where, meow Cal? St. Paul, Minnesota. Hoping that our president fails, our president who is the captain of America's ship.
Captain Stubing of America.
Yeah.
If you hope he fails, we will all sink on that ship, one speaker said at a rally in Washington, D.C. Trump, who was scheduled to stay at the Mar-a-Lago club over the weekend, shocking,
You know,
reportedly
strange
stopped a motorcade in Palm Beach to wave at supporters. And they show some of the rallies, and like truly you can see through them. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're
ones of twos of people deep.
Twos of people, yeah, like this one. I think that's the one in Maine. Nope, that's the one in Indiana. Live shot in Indiana. Let's count them together, Al. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, I get like 17 to 20. Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. For real though. I mean, it's embarrassing. It has to be embarrassing.
And the marchfortrump.org, nothing came up except for stories about violence at the California event in Berkeley. But isn't Berkeley always getting in trouble?
It's a college town. They're always protesting something.
Well, and this in Minnesota with March for Trump rally at Capitol Building in St. Paul turns violent, it says. Agitators spray mace and use what appears to be a stun gun. At least 5 arrested. Well, maybe they were mentally ill and they were allowed to have that stun gun.
Yeah. And remember, if it's pepper spray,
Yeah.
Sean Hannity says that's a vegetable. Remember?
You are lying. He said that?
I don't remember that.
Remember when the
No, I do not
No.
remember this.
Uh-uh.
That's fabulous.
That is.
yeah that the when the the
God, that's great.
they were protesting. What were they called? God damn it! The Wall Street, the Up with People, the Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street.
Up with people.
They were protesting somewhere. It was on a campus, and they showed the campus security just spraying
Right, I
the
remember
people
that,
in the face.
but I-
Oh, right.
And they
right,
were
right.
saying, "Oh, it's pepper spray. It's just a vegetable. It's not that bad.
Come here,
You're
Sean.
overreacting."
Come here, Sean.
And so Sean,
Right.
remember, first Sean Hannity said he was gonna be waterboarded on camera to show that it wasn't torture, and then he took that back.
No, but
That's
And
I
then
love
he
it.
I
would,
wonder
because it was
why.
just a vegetable, he said he was gonna be
Water's just water.
pepper sprayed on TV because it was just a vegetable.
Oh,
And then
I
he
would
took
have
that back, too.
loved that.
Oh yeah, he always
Because somebody pulled him aside and said, "Listen, fucktard,
Right. Yeah.
you're gonna go down
Yep. Hey, dickbag, you're a moron.
like a taser." It's just a taser. Sure.
Yeah. Right.
Come on.
Right. Well, I think that that it's a delight that and you know that those agitators, those Hillary people, God,
Oh yeah, they're out there.
they're everywhere. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
literally, they're everywhere. It's just it's so
And
ridiculous.
I also find it interesting that
I'm putting a link.
there-
I think
I've always found it interesting that because of the uprising against all of this,
maybe
or the Trumpies or trumpets or whatever you call them.
trumpeters.
The uprising against the administration. What I think, one of the things I think is funny is that how all of a sudden, well, everybody just a paid rabble rousler. You know, they're
Yeah.
all paid. It's all coordinated.
Yep.
No, people are just genuinely fucking hate you. Like we don't like you. You're
Yeah.
done. It just so every time. I mean, like I'm sure they all said the reverse. Like when all of the people on the right were protesting against shit, and like I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure somebody did. Sure. Somebody in the left said, or somebody on the right was like, well, or excuse me, the left. Somebody probably spoke out and said that they're just a bunch of paid, organized, right-wing people. I'm sure somebody said that somewhere along the way, but I just don't recall.
And there's the
Well,
theory
and
that
they're
the-
Republicans, so they're not doing anything for free.
Yeah,
No,
and
sure.
there was I already heard the thing that from the left that the people that were reacting violently to the Trump people, they were paid by Trump. So everybody's got their theory that
Right.
somebody's paid by someone else.
Right.
Right.
That the people that
At
were
the
causing
inauguration,
trouble,
at any of the rallies,
that they were
right.
paid to make
If that were the
make
case,
it look like liberals were violent. But I
Right.
mean, everybody's pissed off about something.
The you were talking about earlier about the crowds that had showed up in Florida. I don't know if anybody else saw this. I just saw the headline. It wasn't on any news that I saw. It popped up in one of the news feeds that this week the National Park Service actually issued the official photographs today. Like now they're official photographs of all of the inauguration stuff, and it's the same photographs.
Yeah.
Don, sorry, but I thought it was funny that they finally that shoe dropped. These are the official pictures of it all. Blah blah. Anyway, I just thought it was kind of funny. Was it Meow Cow who was talking about the flat pack furniture?
Yeah.
Okay, here's what it is. You buy it and it's like in a sheet, like it's all flat packed, and then you pop it apart and it becomes a chair.
Oh, see,
That's-
that cabinet in my bathroom is one of those.
Okay, that's what she's talking about. Because unless I'm wrong, but that's what I found on the IKEA site for flat pack stuff was that, and they
then
have
it can
tables and
go
shelves
back,
and shit.
It
That's
can go back to
interesting.
being flat again.
I guess when you
'Cause,
disassemble
yeah,
it.
yeah, and they
I
have
don't
something
know.
about disassembling.
No, but I'm not sitting on that fucking chair.
No, my
I'd rather
fat
sit on
ass,
his
you
light ass.
gotta be
I'd rather sit
kidding
on his
me.
light ass couches.
It looks like those things that you could get when we were little, and I mean the three of us, not if Kat were here. You know the cutout things that you could put the paper dolls.
Oh, right.
Like you put the thing. That's what that fucking chair looks like. I'm not sitting on that.
Oh, no.
And
No.
remember Cliff?
Not gonna happen.
He would say that a fat girl should never be seen walking and eating ice cream because you know people are going to make jokes about it.
Oh, of course.
And
yeah.
never sit in a plastic chair on a hot summer
No
day
shit.
because it's gone soft
That's
from the
funny.
heat and it's going to dissolve underneath you.
Yeah.
Happens.
And I saw it happen to somebody once.
I've too.
A chair that was a plastic chair that was sitting out in the sun that had turned to soft plastic, and I watched them dissolve.
Yep. People have looked at me like, why do you stand all the time? Why the fuck do you think?
What do you want me to sit on?
Yeah. Also, just in case, really, it's, but no, I'm fine.
Is it reinforced with lug nuts?
That's
100,
right.
115
30
degrees,
was it
plastic chair.
3709?
Not a good combo. But
No,
oh my god,
no.
Cliff used to crack me up at that. Fat girl should
funny.
never walk eating ice
Valid
cream.
points.
Cliff was like 250 plus pounds
Yeah. That's
of
funny.
Valentina Turner.
I don't know what those chairs are load tested for. I wonder if I could check those on a website.
Yeah, and I call bullshit.
He would be sure to tell you that not for
Not
him.
for him. Yeah, but they might say something like 400 pounds, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not testing that theory.
Yeah.
At one point, was it?
No.
Was it cold when you took it?
Right.
What was that? Tell me the dynamic.
Well, that's bad too because then plastic gets really brittle and will just snap. It won't just go.
And it'll sound like
And
the
don't
beginning
they-
of You May Be Right.
and don't ever you go near an elevator.
The
Yes.
bells of innuendo.
That you go near an elevator and you see like portly people and you're one of the portly ones.
I'll
and
take the
you're-
next elevator.
I'm waiting. Not
Yeah.
good. It'll hold 1,500 pounds. Yep, you're on
It
there.
says capacity's 8. That's 4.
I'll take the
I need
escalator.
you to raise your hand a couple times. It counts.
that. No.
There's not a lot of elevators in Arizona, so you don't think about how
Right.
rarely people ride in elevators.
I seem to find them everywhere.
I do too.
No, but in your day-to-day life, you don't go into a lot of buildings in Arizona that are multi-floors. Like,
Okay.
no, like
I spend more time downtown than you do apparently because I'm in fucking elevators. Seems like all the time.
Really?
All the time.
And you have them at the restaurant.
No, that's what I'm saying. So I ride them every
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Right.
But to see people's like phobia of elevators
Oh, sure.
every single day, just
No.
I'm going to say that I agree with that. There
And
are
it's-
people
it's
that a lot
real,
of
like-
people get real freaked out about the
But it's also
closed
claustrophobia,
spaces.
not just an elevator.
Oh, no, but
the
there's-
up and down.
it has its own elevator component too.
No.
Have you ever
but-
seen people with escalators that are like that?
Oh God, yeah.
They get real freaked out about escalators.
There is nothing more fun than getting drunk and waiting for the escalator phobics to come along. And
Right, you
do the
getting
little,
drunk or them?
They do the little pawing their foot, trying to
Like
test
a
the
puppy.
water. Like
Catch
Or
the
like
stare?
a cat
And
trying to
then-
get
yeah.
water.
then they finally jump on and they ride it and they hold on like they're surfing. And the dismount is worth the whole
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Because you almost want like a triple axle, double toe loop combo
What's-
the way they're
Well,
acting.
it's the people in the airport
Oh.
that I like better that are on
Oh, the people
When,
who-
when you're on
the
the
same.
the moving sidewalk, and it says, end is approaching. Caution, end is approaching, and you watch them try to do that dismount,
Yeah.
and some of them biff it completely because they're not listening and they're
It makes
they're doing
traveling fun.
It is
Nothing makes
entertaining.
me because they really do. They
It
think
is
like, oh,
entertaining.
Every once in a while,
Mm.
it's me.
It's good to know.
That
I
completely
would.
goes ass over tea kettle
Uh-huh.
with my
God
luggage.
damn it!
Right.
Where am I when that happens? Because I just think shit like that's funny. People
Oh,
fall
oh,
down,
yes.
and
I
am.
stay there a minute just to enjoy. Like, everybody just enjoy what just went on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that'll
It was
make
my-
a complete
it was
scene.
my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a complete
Yeah.
scene about it because they're going to make fun of it anyway. So if you make it a
No.
better entertainment experience,
Totally.
Yep.
well, that sucked, didn't it?
I know.
Wow. Oh.
Wow, who would have known?
First time
they were
walking.
announcing that. Oh,
But
I
oh,
think
my
that's
sister's like that now with the escalators.
Oh no, they really are.
Just the one.
awesome.
It's something with her glasses.
Oh, she can't tell in the bifocal.
Oh.
Well, that
Sure,
is funny.
sure. That's funny.
That
It
is-
probably seems mean that I'm making fun, but
Not really.
Deb, we'd like to welcome you to the show if you're listening.
we'll take her when she's in town next week. We'll take her to an escalator.
Go to the Arizona
Let's
Center and
go,
just
right,
watch her.
right. Or that would be fantastic.
She can be both outdoors and in an
Or
escalator.
or like Fashion Square, like they have the short little escalator, and then the other one that goes. That'd be fantastic.
You have the one that was like, that was 3 fucking stairs, and a wheelchair can't come on this. What the
Right.
fuck?
right.
There's
Oh,
that one
she-
escalator in Fashion
Yeah,
Square that's
yeah.
like,
Stupid.
yeah, it makes no sense.
It would be fun to watch her at the Target store in Los Angeles, out in West Hollywood,
California.
because it's got the escalators to the second floor with the cart escalator where you put the cart on it. You know, it all goes up. Oh, she probably would lose her fucking mind.
Yep, that would be fantastic.
Because if you push the cart in, it just locks the cart and takes it. But she would probably be like, how do I get there to get to my cart?
I played with that thing for like a full day at that Target in
It's
San
a
Diego.
good time.
It really
time.
was. I was
It's a
intrigued.
very
is
cool
fun.
thing
It
to
is
watch
fun.
it lock the cart and do its thing. That's a good time.
Well, Katie June, had the babies.
Yeah.
All three of them, different
Right,
times.
different time.
but,
Well,
well,
two of them were at the same time, kind of.
it's kind of right.
I don't know what the difference time-wise is on that. But, I don't know.
Minutes. I'm assuming. I don't know. So, but they have that parental leave, right? When we gave her time off to go have the kids.
She's still off.
I know.
She hasn't
She never
even
came back.
returned.
She never
No.
Well,
So that's the last
having
time
this
we'll.
temp employee here has really been a bitch for a
The
while.
last time we'll do that. But it has been argued that men, right? That men should have paternity leave as well,
Uh-huh.
and I agree with that completely.
Oh, I do too, because somebody's got to help.
Completely. Well, there is one other reason that someone may need to have leave, and in the UK they're figuring that out.
Oh.
And if it would please anyone, it certainly would please Aaron. My Aaron.
You're Aaron.
Some UK companies are offering paid leave when employees adopt a puppy.
I heard this.
Oh, for the love of fuck.
I heard this.
Meanwhile, most American moms don't even get paid maternity leave when they give birth. In general,
Yeah.
all parents should be able to take time off off work when they give birth or adopt a child. But paid parental leave is still hard to come by in the United States. In fact, just 11%, I thought that was wild, just 11% of American workers in the private sector and 16% of government employees have access to paid family leave. I thought that was
That is
I thought
crazy.
that was super low. If you weren't already envious of the generous paid leave policies in Europe, because many countries in Europe give new parents a full year off, which I think is wild.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's longer than you carried the kid.
Well, if you weren't envious already,
Who
you
am
will
I
be
to
now,
judge?
because companies in the UK are now giving employees time off when they adopt the puppy. The latest company to jump on the pawternity.
Oh!
You know how I love a pun.
I can't.
It just, I love that.
Paw turn.
The latest company to jump on the paternity leave bandwagon
You can
is
stop at any time.
Brewdog, a craft beer company based in Scotland. They have that at Pride
Yeah.
and whatever. That always makes me laugh. Brewdog's puppy parental leave policy gives employees up to a week off to spend with their new fur baby. It's not easy trying to juggle work and settle a new dog into your life. And many members of our crew have four-legged friends at home. So we wanted to take the stress out of the situation and let our team take the time that they need to welcome their new puppy or dog into their family.
Shut the fuck up.
We always want to raise the bar when it comes to offering our staff the best possible benefits. At Brewdog, we care about two things above all else: people and beer. I might go work for them.
Yeah.
We also just really, really like dogs, they say. It's true, bringing a new puppy into your home does require an investment of time and energy. You've got the task of potty training, and you have to make sure that they're fed while also making sure they're not chewing on your favorite pair of shoes. Plus, who wouldn't want to spend a week at home soaking up all those puppy snuggles? And just when you think it couldn't get any better, get this. Brewdog doesn't want employees to become heartbroken by leaving their furry new additions at home after the paid leave ends. So they allow new puppy parents to bring their fluffy bundles of joy back to work with them.
No.
Aaron's going to move to... yeah.
Well,
she's
I'll come visit you in Scotland.
Uh-huh.
Because I know the dog won't be at home.
Yeah, that's true, right? That's true.
That's a good point.
About 50 dogs have become part of the Brewdog team. Between the craft beer, the paid puppy
Is the
leave,
beer made
and
out of
all-
dogs? Is that how the story ends? I feel like there's a twist.
No, only in your mind. Between the craft beer, the paid puppy leave, and all of the dogs running around the office, we're guessing morale is sky high over at Brewdog. It's worth noting that Brewdog takes good care of parents of human babies as well. We also offer enhanced maternity and paternity pay for two-legged arrivals. Want to get a job at BrewDog? They've got openings in the U.S. and don't think that clicking on it is not going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine?
I mean, it's nice to offer the perks. You see those places where the people go to work and they play ping pong all day,
Right.
and you're like, what does that do?
Yeah, no kidding. But
Like-
they're happy.
And I don't know if that's real or just on TV shows, but it seems to be in a lot of different TV shows.
Well, but I think
Most of them
that
on
I
HBO.
think now the people that are like, if you think about Apple, right?
Right.
That they're and Google, they're what is another one? There was another one that was is it GoDaddy or something?
Sure.
That they're
That's the thing.
but they're
That's why all of our domains are through GoDaddy.
their offices and whatnot are just fun. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
a
Google,
matter
GoDaddy, yeah, definitely.
that that they have a room over here for
Castle
people
Boutique, all of them. They're just
That's what I understand. Yeah, go in the back. But that they have a. I love the fact that he just thinks that Marina is my name. That's fantastic.
Looks like
Thanks,
Marina.
Joey. He calls me Marina, the
well,
whole
being
thing.
a boat person that Joey
Yeah,
is,
absolutely.
I think it would be a marina.
Anyway,
Anywho.
but that's and I think it's much of it not Apple per se, but a lot of it is because of younger
Kids
folks
that
that are opening it and that everything is about playing video games
Yeah.
and doing this and that and that you have to take a break, man.
I would specifically put on my application, I do not want to work in the area where people
Right.
bring their dogs to work. I would need to be separated from those people.
I would like to work in the area where you don't even bring people to work.
Yeah.
Is there like a sequestered area over here where I could just have like
and
me?
not a pun, but we haven't had a chance to welcome Benji to. He's watching on.
Speaking
the
of dogs.
YouTubes.
Hi,
I know.
Benji.
I was hoping to
Oh,
avoid that
that's right.
reference, but I knew
Hi,
I'd kind of
Benji.
set it
Walked
up.
right into it. Welcome, Benji. From where is the Benji hailing?
He hasn't replied yet.
God damn it, Benji, get on it! Come
but
on.
he was here
us
last
know. Yeah.
last week.
Oh, well, you're
Or a week
you're
before.
an old hat now.
Sometime
you're
in the past.
experienced at this
But
bullshit.
because the other thing is like,
Oh.
I hate more than anything
Oh.
else.
GoDaddy is god awful. I wonder. It's interesting. You mean like their offices, Aaron? I wonder if that's
I don't know what fucking office you work into, but I have 3 people in Phoenix that work at GoDaddy Scottsdale that absolutely love it.
Yeah. I wonder what's awful about it. If it does have a shit ton of video games, trust me, that would be awful to me. I would
Yeah.
sooner just cry if everyone was like,
Oh.
no, can't.
Why do I feel like if it's not a Star Trek office, you don't fucking like it? I really feel like you piss on everything else that's not Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica or any of that shit.
Oh, and he wasn't even here. We did our touching tribute to
Who?
the guy
Aaron.
that died from. Aaron wasn't in the room the week we did the tribute to. Was it Richard Hatch that just died? Mm-hmm. From that.
What a cutie. Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, but I
Just grab it from any fucking space show anywhere.
oh yeah, I don't.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
even know
I-
what GoDaddy is.
Oh, I don't know. I got nothing for you on the tech support side. I'm talking about the people who work in the office that, no, those people. Tech support. I don't know what. They may be in a Lazy Boy in Poughkeepsie for all I fucking know. I have no idea where they are.
What would make you need GoDaddy?
All of our websites that I own,
Websites,
like all of those that I buy them through GoDaddy. That's who does all that stuff. And then any technical stuff that we do for forwarding or changes of all that, it all is done through them.
Okay,
Yeah, Aaron, I
guess I didn't understand the question.
Ooh, he knew Richard Hatch.
Or even
You
what
knew
GoDaddy
that,
was.
cutie?
I mean, that probably
Oh,
would
yeah.
help. Yeah, it helps you there.
I guess I didn't understand the question.
There's that.
The fact that he knew Richard Hatch makes me a little. Wasn't that was the
Yeah,
name?
I think I saw that in his tribute to him that he knew him.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Wasn't Richard Hatch also the guy on Survivor that
Thank
was
you. That's
naked?
that's why I just kind of
Yes.
went. Wait a minute.
I
have that
but
right?
I think it's just 2 people, 1 name.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just was curious because unfortunately that's the
Separate.
first one I got to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Aaron. I work from home as well, and so I don't have to deal with all that shit.
Today I worked in an Asian restaurant in Scottsdale. Lovely.
How was Toddy's?
Good. Toddy sold it. It's a different. I mean,
Oh.
still using the name, but
Okay.
but it was great. They bought all new equipment, which the other owner wouldn't do.
Oh, there you
So
go.
that was lovely. That was there. Are we
Very
done
nice.
with your
We're all
that
done.
horse?
Yeah.
Got it. A man accused of attacking a mannequin that Las Vegas police positioned to resemble a homeless person following 2 separate slayings, remained jailed this past Friday. A judge has set bail at $50,000 for Shane Schindler, a name you can't say fast 10 times without probably fucking that up, who is charged with 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon. He was arrested last week following a February 22nd incident. Schindler's arrest report says police set up a mannequin resembling a sleeping man after detectives had no leads on the slayings of 2 homeless men earlier in the year in Las Vegas. Authorities hadn't ruled out the possibility of thrill kills and placed the blanket-covered mannequin on the same spot where one of the 2 men had previously been killed. The report says Schindler, 30, approached the decoy, looked around for traffic, and then struck the mannequin with a 4-pound engineer's hammer that he had hidden in a bag. Surveillance video captured the entire incident. According to the report, Schindler told police, quote, "I knew it was a mannequin before I hit it." But police do dispute that statement.
Hence the arrest.
Right, yeah.
It can't be proven that that's his voice.
The decoy mannequin was staged in a manner which would have made it impossible for Schindler to have determined the mannequin was not an actual human being before he struck it, according to the arrest report. Schindler swung the hammer using both arms to generate maximum force, the report also says. Deputy Public Defender Ashley Sisolak described Schindler's bail as excessive. She said her client has proclaimed his innocence and is looking forward to fighting these allegations. Well, Daniel Aldapi, 46, and David Dunn, 60, coincidentally were bludgeoned to death by a 4-pound machinist hammer within a month of time earlier this year. Both had suffered the apparent same head trauma that the mannequin had suffered.
Oh.
So they pretty much got him dead to rights on that
Yeah,
one.
no kidding.
Oh, but
I mean, it's not pleasant, but the fact that, okay, really? You're going to try to say,
oh yeah, I mean just
I did not meet with the Russians. I got a picture of you with the Russians.
yeah. See this guy here in this picture? That's who you mean.
Guess where he's from?
Russia. And I like the one that was like, nobody met him for his looks.
He must not be very memorable. Nobody remembers meeting him. And the one woman's like, oh, you'd remember him.
Yeah.
Same guy. Same song.
Shame shot.
Oh, it's terrible to think about that. There's people going around and doing that too.
People who are less fortunate.
Oh yeah, and just already suffering enough.
Why would that? I again, not raised in that way. I've never thought about that. I don't understand still. I don't understand tagging. I don't understand vandalism in any way.
No.
Yeah.
I just don't get why you wouldn't do something productive.
Just calling GoDaddy. I don't get any
If
of
you
these
got-
things we're talking about.
If you got lots of energy, go pick up trash in a park. I mean, there's so many things you can do
Yeah.
that are beneficial. I mean, or just shut the fuck up and go, read a book. I don't know. There's so many things. I just don't get harming other people. Now, if it's a fly in the house, get a vacuum, get an electric fly swatter, get a sledgehammer. Don't care. Kill the
Get
motherfucker.
rid
have a
that
cocktail. Get that electric fly swatter.
I do
Just have
enjoy an
yourself
electric.
a good time.
I do enjoy that.
I have to say, I was in New York one time. One of those really, really, really super cold trips that was just miserable. And you would hear it in taxi cabs, like it would just be like broadcast everywhere wherever you're going. Like, if you see a homeless person on the street, please call tonight.
Let's
Someone
get
will
them off
come
the
pick
street.
them up. There are shelters available
Right.
because of how cold it was, and there was all kinds of warnings, like call this number, like if you see someone unresponsive, they're probably dead. And it was
Right.
and it was just
And that's
horrible
not-
to think that
that's valid.
you're trying to find somewhere to sleep just to get some heat off of like a subway grate, and someone's gonna come along with a hammer. You know what I mean? Like what the like there's just too much wrong.
Yeah.
Nope. And Amina was asking, why do people in the U.S. treat homeless people like shit? And I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
There is a lot of mental illness that's associated with homelessness. And so I look at it and say people treat people with mental illness.
And you always
like
hear that.
shit.
Well, look at their sneakers. They have shoes on.
Aaron, I'm not
Like,
trying
now
to.
we begrudge
I'm
them
certainly
shoes.
not trying to
right.
equate tagging
over
over
exactly.
thrill killing. No, I don't.
No.
I'm not at all
Yeah.
equating it. What I'm just simply saying is,
Just a
if
list
you've
of
got
things I
enough,
don't understand.
If you've got enough energy to go get a fucking spray paint can and do something, why don't you get that can and go paint something that needs painting, like a park bench?
Or call the person
something.
who owns the building and be like, "Hey, do you mind if I do this?"
Right. I mean, I just don't get destruction.
Yeah.
There are those people. And I'm from the Midwest. I remember hearing about people with baseball bats driving down country roads, beating
Yeah.
up mailboxes.
Mailboxes, yep.
Again, that's a federal offense. That's a mailbox. They don't realize it. They don't think it is, but it is. But I just don't understand why you would ever. Why would you go knock out porch lights or glasses
Right.
or windows in people's houses. I just
And,
don't get it.
and what we were talking about, because I told you my car and a whole ton of them in our neighborhood got egged.
Yes.
Was egged, and it's the same. Again, absolutely correct. Not comparing it to, hitting somebody with a hammer, but that kind of stuff. It's like, come on, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What in the hell's wrong? And you're right, Mama Di. Trump wants to make sure that people have the gun. Hi.
Kat Carlson has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Look at her go. Very nice.
Well, and oddly, Amina, she is saying that there are more empty houses in America than there are homeless people. And I remember when I moved here from Minnesota that they had I was looking on Van Buren, which is one of the prominent street or well-known major thoroughfares in Phoenix, and that there were all those empty hotels or motel kind of things, and I was beside myself. Like, why in the world can't folks go and live there? Why in the world can't we offer that? But the problem is that we have to offer so many other things and not problem, but the thing that needs to be solved, because there are so many other things that you have to add to that. It's not just a roof over their head, because then somebody has to maintain it. Because if they get hurt,
Then it's a liability of
Then
the
it's a
city if the city
liability.
does it or the people on the
Right.
property.
and I understand the people, but it's a roof over their and you're trying to do something good.
Yeah.
but
And then if it's not air conditioned, they're just dead.
then they're dead, and
Then they're inside a hot room.
When you're thinking about healthy living kind of spaces, if you're not teaching people to empty their garbage, to take out certain things, and how to, as far as like just daily living, what you need to do, then you have infested living situations, and that's not good.
No, true.
So there are all kinds of different things that need to be addressed for that. And the people
to get the homeless people into the empty houses.
Are we talking about the program and the experiment in Utah that is actually providing housing successfully to homeless people? And
This started from a murder story.
Yeah, actually.
Why is it everything murder with you? Was there an axe?
No, it was a
actually,
4-pound
sledgehammer.
hammer.
Yeah, different.
No, that we leapfrogged from 4-pound sledgehammer from a guy killing a mannequin as a decoy in
homeless
Vegas
people?
to homeless people on the street.
I'm sorry, I missed that progression. But there is a program that the state of Utah put together a couple of years ago that seems to be successfully housing homeless people and successfully putting them on a path. You can't please all the people all the time, but putting them on a path of productivity and health, which will in the long term bring down the overall cost of helping homeless people.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because you can soup kitchen them to death, but until you can put someone back up on their feet and send them on their way, you're not really helping them.
Sure.
I mean,
Absolutely.
You're just putting a band-aid on a broken arm, if you will.
You're keeping them alive in a
Right.
miserable
Right.
existence, but you're not really helping them.
Right. And that type of program they had tried in the 70s, I believe, and I don't know the same thing, but in the 70s, mom and dad and I guess I did, whatever, I was 6 months old, lived in Maryland, and they were trying it out there, and they had a tall apartment, like a
high-rise building.
high-rise kind of building, right, that was empty, and someone bought it and said this is where we could house people, and this would be fantastic, and have it. They tried to do it as a part of a mental health-ish kind of thing, go in and talk with people, but they didn't think through all of you have to empty your garbage, and you have to and not just set it outside your door. So many different things have to be done.
And you put all those people in one building.
Right.
If the facility isn't not up to code. If the facility isn't adequate enough, you got a sewage issue. You got a water issue.
Right.
You got all that stuff that has to factor in. Somebody's got to deal with it.
Yeah. Who's clogging toilets because they don't perhaps know how much
What's
is too much.
biodegradable?
Right.
How much is too much?
Yeah. I
Or-
mean, like,
or
all kinds of things.
They had
Okay.
Filibertos and they're
Or they
suffering
are-
from some
We've all
burrito
been there.
blowout.
We've
Yes.
all
We've all been there.
been
yeah.
there.
Yeah. But you know to flush halfway through. But you know,
The
I
mercy
mean,
flush.
The mid flush.
exactly.
I'm glad I'm
Exactly.
here.
There you go. And now you've caught up. You're all up to speed,
I'm all
Kat.
cut up.
Oh, that went from noble to just a mercy flush, right?
On to the double flush. Next caller. What's the next
Next
story?
caller. Next caller.
My goodness, what's
Oh,
going on,
that's
guys?
Not a bunch. Not a bunch.
I mean, and no.
No.
People who live in trailer parks are not technically homeless.
No.
No, they're not gypsies. What the hell is
And
that?
there's a difference between a trailer park and an RV park too.
Yeah,
That's true. Yep.
And I think the RV park is where people get to think of those. What's the term for the people that the caravanners?
Mobile home? Oh.
No,
You had it. It's gypsies.
yeah, the
Yeah.
gypsies that do the caravans.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think there's an impression in other parts of the world that that's what mobile homes are.
Oh.
That's what mobile home communities are. Is that they're
I'm gonna Google some pictures for you. Marnie's got a story that she's gonna do.
Yeah. There. So.
Oh, in
in
Arizona,
Taiwan,
a lot of the trailer parks are very nice, and in Florida, they're
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The retirees.
they're as lovely as Florida.
Well,
Enough said.
Florida can be.
Enough said.
So, because of her homophobic parents, a woman's boss walked her down the aisle because her father boycotted a same-sex wedding.
Sad, but it happens.
Sad, but it happens. That's true. Jennifer is a banker from Taiwan, and her partner's name is Sam. They recently got hitched after 11 years being together, which is fantastic.
Yeah, make sure you're into it.
Yeah, I mean, they had commitment issues.
It happens.
So this Jennifer's homophobic parents strongly against any kind of lesbian affair, except the guy who is the head guy at HSBC. Well, he's like a father figure to her, apparently, because that's where she's a banker.
Did he say to her, "Put your tiny hand in mine"?
Tiny dancer.
Wow. Or Tony Danza, whichever one.
Here I am. Here I
The,
am.
I never know who I'm romancing, the dancer or Tony Danza.
Apparently, her father, this Jennifer's father, was so against any kind of lesbian or gay situation that whenever he would even see her partner, he would just shove her out of the way and tell her to get lost. It just was very, very rude and physical. She said another one of her biggest fears about in Taiwan, because it is not legal to get the gay married.
The gay married.
She said one of her biggest fears about making her relationship public was that it would affect her job at HSBC. She was concerned that it would stop clients from banking with them. And so she had to consider it really carefully. But coming out seems to have had the opposite effect. Her colleagues came out in full support of her relationship, and many of them attended her wedding. However, the parents, as I said, did refuse. So Jennifer's boss, HSBC CEO John Lee, walked her down the aisle.
A lot of acronyms going
I
on.
thought that was wonderful.
That's very nice.
Absolutely cool. CEO John was willing to walk me down the aisle. He even told us not to be nervous and to walk slowly. And apparently it was very, trying to be very calming, very fatherly. The wedding was ceremonial since it is not legalized. But she hopes that being open about their relationship will inspire others. This wedding really is for the LGBTQ community. We hope our actions will encourage people and create respect among different communities. So, and it says also, if this was all a marketing ploy because of the CEO coming forward, it's working.
Yeah.
Because the people are apparently were investing then in HSBC.
And yeah, I mean,
Putting their money there.
it's everyone has to learn that lesson that you make what Amundsen Maupin calls your logical family. Like eventually, you just have to push and shove and pull people and push people till you get the family that you deserve out of life.
Absolutely. And I just thought how wonderful, especially
Yeah.
in a play. I mean, granted, here in America for until 2 years ago, I guess it is now. It was not legal to get married, but we had other. I mean, there were a whole lot of other things that we got away with, if you will.
Yeah.
That compared to other parts of the world that are horrible.
Right.
Horrible in comparison. Kind of a lot like comparing tagging to someone getting, hit in the head with a sledgehammer
Right.
or something. Clayton
I'm
did
so
that.
sad I
like-
missed
Clayton
this
did that.
story.
I like how you pulled that together.
Just coming back around. But I thought that was really really wonderful. But you're right with the family that we choose. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a really big thing, and for people that have their family that they grew up with, and the families that we
They
choose
build,
as
yeah.
well and build. I'm so lucky, but that doesn't happen all the time. So
And it's always nice when someone finds some support within their world.
absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Just found a couple of pictures that may help to explain the confusion earlier from the.
Ooh, a slideshow.
Well, yeah, and the first slide, I decided to go retro with this one for mobile home, because I just felt that this really encompasses the charm.
I'm hoping for a double wide.
No, just this is your 1950s.
Oh, that is lovely.
Yeah.
It's a lovely. So this would be a.
I've lived in one of those.
This would be a mobile home. This is a trailer that they move in and they strap it down, lock it down. They build a foundation to them, so it's a pre-manufactured home. So
That's
and
what they call a single wide.
yeah, that would be a single one. Yes. Now other people might look at this as a mobile home. That's a different option.
Now that's what the caravanners use.
The caravan, right? So that's that's an RV. In the States, we call it an RV, a recreational vehicle, a motor home. So you could live in that,
Camper.
I guess.
Some people call it a
Camper.
camper.
Yes,
That's
yes.
very good. That's
Well,
true.
and I'll guarantee you, I'm gonna camp in that. I'm not getting
Yeah,
a goddamn
good
tent
call.
and pissing.
It's lovely to camp in those.
Oh, those- yes,
I greatly
absolutely.
enjoy those.
Yeah. So you got two options. You can either do that or this lovely arrangement, which I'm sure if you were
Is
to
that
go in
Florence
this
Henderson?
in this lady's trailer, I'm sure she's got a fresh batch of snickerdoodles or maybe a nice bunt cake
Perhaps.
that she's
and
made.
early
bunt.
on in the mobile home industry, there were still wheels on those. So that one right
Well, I
there.
can get you stand by.
That one right there probably still has the wheels on it. They've just locked those wheels.
Really? They have wheels?
Yeah, they had wheels on it because they would be
How
pulled
do you-
around by
how
a
do you not
tractor
know
trailer.
this? Seriously.
No, that's why they're called mobile homes, because they were
No,
mobile.
in all sincerity, I
Like,
didn't
you
know
would-
that either.
Yeah. You could hitch them up to something that could pull any kind of a full length trailer
I'm gonna show you.
and haul
Oh,
it
is
away
that why
to the next place.
they had the?
That's why they have the
bottom
skirting,
kinda-
because it's hiding the
Sure.
wheels.
Yeah.
In the original incarnation. Now mobile homes are less mobile typically,
Right.
but they
that's-
still kind of come in the same way.
Right. Well, they do. In fact, I have a picture.
Hi, Harry.
No, there's some.
So let's go to the visual.
Well, hang on. I gotta find
I
it.
can't
tape.
fathom trying to maneuver one of those things behind a car.
It's not a lot different. No, you wouldn't behind your car. You would need a larger truck. It's
Okay.
not a lot different than driving a truck
Yeah,
with a
your
trailer.
Datsun 500
Or your
on that thing.
like it's fairly comparable to like a fifth wheel.
Okay.
Like my parents have a gigantor,
Sure.
stupid fifth wheel.
What's a fifth wheel? I'm learning so many words.
Wow,
today.
you know what that is?
Isn't that the
Okay,
thing
now
that
this
goes
would be
into the
this would
middle
be
of the
a
truck?
modular home. This would be your double wide, if you
Yeah,
will.
there's your double wide.
It's moved in two independent trailers. Those are two pieces, and then they're married, and it makes one large home.
Yeah, and they're lovely.
But they're all they're very
They can
nice.
be, sure.
Yeah, they're very nice. But this is pulled in like two different trucks get on the road.
Yeah, but that's schmancy.
Right. In comparison, that's schmancy. I get it. So let me find.
I see the appeal of all of it till you get to Tornado Land, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, what you doing?
Right,
but
and
we're not-
I think when the
No,
when the
so
industry
they make sense here, like Florida.
Right.
But when Florida has no.
Florida has a
too.
lot of hurricanes.
Here's a good. Oh, this is a good one.
But I think when the industry like originated, the idea would be for like my in-laws who snowbird between here and New Jersey, they could conceivably drag their home with them,
Sure.
find a cement pad to put it on.
Jesus Christ, can you
Which
imagine?
can
that?
be
I-
be very expensive.
Sounds terrible,
Kind of.
honestly. But you know what I mean? Like that was
It's
that's
pricey.
kind that was kind of the
Here's
the
a-
vision, and then they just became extremely inexpensive
So,
homes.
here's
Yeah.
a shot. Now this is the shot. This is a trailer. This
There
is
you go.
that's more than a single wide. That's maybe a
one and a- that's a double
one and a
wide.
It's a
half.
3/4 wide.
Well, maybe 3/4. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah.
Now again, this truck has backed this mobile home, this trailer,
a lot
in,
of math.
and there is. I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm gonna try to zoom in. You can see underneath.
Can you see the wheels?
Underneath this trailer, there are wheels underneath there.
I see darkness.
That looks like 4 or
Mild
6
friend.
wheels.
Yeah, they don't usually move once you plop them down somewhere.
No, there's.
But when you do decide to buy a mobile home, I may or may not know this from experience. You get to buy the home, but then you have to pay rent on your lot because you still don't own your land.
You don't own the land.
You own the box.
Yeah.
You don't own the land, so you're still paying a lot rent on top of your $300 mortgage payment. Because you've paid $25,000 for the damn house.
Right.
Yeah.
And, we just
And it shows. Every penny just shows right in there.
right
let
there.
me
It's
tell
a
ya.
beautiful thing.
I gotcha.
You have to pay extra for skirting and tie downs. You have to pay for all that
I'm
shit.
trying to think. I've lived in multiple.
So my
mobile
hooker
homes, as it
charges
turns
extra for skirtings and tie downs. Funny story.
Oh my god!
It's something totally different.
I can't believe we forgot this.
What happened? What did we forget?
Well, hang on, we forgot something. Well,
Do we not have a drinking word
we
yet?
were so wrapped up in everything that was going on.
In Hammer Murders?
We forgot.
The Hammer Murder
Stop.
episode.
Hammer
For this.
murder.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you.
Good luck.
Like, I guess we got to find a way to fit double wide into the conversation.
Wow.
I like it.
I
like it a lot.
think we can. I think
There's
we can.
that.
Are there bonus points when said with some sort of a redneckish accent?
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Got
Affirmative.
me a double wide.
Got you a double wide, you
Where's my-
I
fancy
just think we're
son
going to go
bitch.
right for the pound the liquor portion. You guys forget I drink without you.
Now, speaking of a double
Drinking
wide,
today.
And I did not finish my cup of coffee, so I went right from wake up to wine.
Oh.
So this is going to turn into
Right
face
back to
down
sleep.
at this
Wake
table in
and
a
wine.
minute. Yeah.
Wake and bake.
Yeah.
Wake and wine.
Now we're gonna keep the double wide and the trailer park theme going. I'm gonna tell you about a Taco Bell wedding.
Oh! Is there any other kind?
This comes with
I don't think
pictures, and they're lovely. Al, when I saw this story, I thought of you because I thought for sure you were gonna be touched by this because Al used to be. He's a former employee of the Taco Bell.
Sure.
Yep.
Was it owned by PepsiCo? PepsiCo at the time.
It wasn't at first. No, actually, mine was never owned by PepsiCo. I worked for a franchisee.
Got it. Okay. He's fancy. The competition is fierce, but Diane Nguyen,
But they were
finalist.
independent when I said I worked there that long ago. I just wanted to fuck with you a little bit.
We'll start over.
I wanted to stand the way you're
Start
double
over.
wide.
We'll start over the story.
I'm gonna punch you in your double wide.
Well, I've seen videos where
Well,
Ouch,
what happened?
and that hurts my feelings.
yes,
Go ahead.
sure does. The competition is fierce, but Diane Nguyen, a finalist in Taco Bell's Love and Tacos competition, definitely has a certain dramatic flair. And she created and wore a dress made of Taco Bell burrito wrappers.
Oh,
And
That's
she
gonna
has
smell.
she has a gift for puns. So Marnie will appreciate this.
I appreciate
Let's cut
her
to
already.
a picture here of the lovely and talented woman in her burrito wrapper dress. Her Instagram post.
Flamenco.
I'm gonna give it.
Her Instagram post says, "It's time to spill the beans. We've been engaged for 4 years and together for 10.
Make sure you're sure.
Taco Bell has been there through the years from our after school runs, no pun intended, to late.
Now wait. Because
come
of your
on.
earlier statement, where did the no pun intended come from? Her or you? Who's getting credit for that?
No, I said the no pun intended. I said because it just says from after school runs, comma to late meals after
Yeah.
You
work.
get a bonus double wide for
Thank
that.
you.
That's good.
How come he gets the punch?
Because
he commented on the pun.
Oh, I see.
it's like you can't say the word, but you can quote somebody else saying the word.
Got the runs to order.
Says to continue on with the Instagram post, our love for each other is as cheesy as a quesadilla. We're Nacho's getting married. It's going to be a Las Vegas takeover. take over.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let us
gone too
celebrate.
far.
Let us celebrate our love, the Taco Bell way in the Taco Bell Chapel in Vegas, because we're ready to guac and roll.
Oh.
Perhaps the couple that makes taco-themed puns together stays together.
Thank God.
Maybe.
And bring your dog to
Nobody
work
else
so I
wants
never
him.
see it. Yeah.
Now, Taco Bell will be gifting the winner of its competition the inaugural wedding at the company's new wedding chapel in Las Vegas
A
at
Taco Bell wedding
their
chapel?
Cantina location. The grand prize winner will be announced on March 16th.
I feel like when I'm in Vegas later this month, I'm going to need to go to the Taco Bell Wedding Chapel and Cantina.
Sure.
Just to have my picture taken.
Checkout counter became an altar. Consumerism 3000.
Yeah. She's
Goodness,
laughing.
they're in the finalist phase of the contest.
Yes,
it
they are.
appears.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are 10 finalists.
big
Only
deal.
10 couples left.
Can you
Oh,
imagine?
I hope they decide the weekend I'm there.
Think they get like
My
the 10
sister's not
going to
be excited about that part of our trip to Vegas.
That'd be very exciting.
What are
You
we
go to
doing
the-
now?
What
What are we doing?
But I have
We're
a
going
question.
to the Taco Bell, Cantina, and Wedding Chapel.
Why, Al? Why are we
Because
doing
it's a
that?
double wide experience.
Now, you know how like moms will hand their wedding dress down to their daughters or sons.
Well, hers is going to be covered with ants.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
Because it used to
I
have
don't
food.
want that one.
Now, you know what I wondered, and I
I don't want that.
One of the questions I have is this dress?
I say no.
This dress made out of wrappers. Is this dress? How did she get the wrappers?
I
Did
think
she
it's
eat the burritos
flamenco.
and just clean the wrappers, or did
Sources
she?
Listen,
say-
if you go out in my car right now, you could probably get 7 Taco Bell
Did she
wrappers out of
make?
there.
it's like,
I'm making
or
a
did,
deal.
did she make a deal? And with somebody, and they gave her like every time she went, she got a burrito, and they gave her like 10 wrappers.
That's where the
for-
ants come from. But I do have to give compliments to it's hiding a figure that's clearly eaten a lot of burritos. You know what I mean? Like that's a very flattering dress.
Yeah, it's cute. It really is a cute dress.
It's giving her a darling figure. It's showing off a leg.
It makes a lot of
Again,
noise when
I'm
it moves
seeing
though, because it's
flamenco, like a
it
little
makes
a-
flamenco wedding.
I'm reminded of a gentler time.
it's flammable.
When Renee and I and friends would get a little fucked up and stay at home and go into the closet with sheets and come out and play fashion show. And I have
Nice.
no skills or talents. So mine would just be a
Burqa?
babushka or a burqa. Or the killer from Halloween. But like Renee and the other people would go and come back with like these fabulously like decked out gowns out of sheets. And I'm like, how'd you
They
do
know how to
that?
they know how to tie knots and fold.
Yeah, and I was instantly it reminded of that, but I'm like that's aside from being kind of gross because it's covered with taco sauce. I'm just assuming they didn't give her 6 boxes.
I wonder if she has hot
Well,
or
but-
mild.
mild.
No,
don't
I
know.
would.
How
I
do you
would.
want your vinegar? Vinegary or less vinegary?
I would suspect that she probably went and bought an entire box of 1,000, like from them, because I'm sure you could go and make a deal with the manager and be like, "Look, I'm in this competition. Your
Right.
store is going to get the store."
Now
Like,
there's a ne'er-do-well manager making money on the down.
well, no, but if it's a
selling
Taco
burrito
Bell,
wrappers
it's a
to
Taco Bell
fashionistas,
sponsored competition.
Your story's far-fetched.
There's got to
sir.
be some,
Can you give me a case of wrappers at cost?
right.
There was a robbery at the Taco
or
Bell.
the
Give me a
manager's
case
like,
of wrappers.
if you win, you have to say that
Or the
it's our
burrito
store.
gets it.
I'll take
Because
12
I'm sure he doesn't give a
rubbers and
shit about
1,000
that,
wrappers.
about that case of wrappers. Who cares?
The burrito gets it.
Cost that store $6.
What's the one that you worked at briefly? It's the the one up north you worked at briefly.
Cottonwood, Cape Verde, Camp Verde.
Camp Verde. Just you have to tell them it's from the Camp Verde Taco Bell if we give you these wrappers for free. I mean, you have to endorse the store. I don't know.
Yeah,
The
'cause
Encino Valley Taco. Where the fuck she's from?
I'm gonna go to Cape Verde because not Cape Verde.
Camp Verde.
Camp Verde. Cape Verde might be in Africa. I'm gonna go to Camp Verde because I
Amina?
heard there's a Taco Bell there. Because I'm not gonna pass 700 on my way to the first turn.
No,
to the
I'm-
freeway.
Wherever you happen to hail from. I don't care if you're from Casa
However you
Grande,
self-identify.
Casa Grande, Encino, Lavine. I don't care. But wherever your city is, that store manager's going to be like, I'm going to get my store on the map.
I am loving these contest
Or on
entries.
her ass.
I haven't looked at all. I just happened
Oh,
to saw the one
They're
story.
fantastic.
I feel
Brittany,
we
a
should follow and
finalist.
vote.
Ah.
We have to follow and vote.
Yeah, I'm on their website right now. I'm totally gonna.
Oh, is there? Can you vote?
Can you put it
Yeah,
in
it's a whole
Oh,
vote thing.
oh, so we
Yeah.
vote. They're not picking it. The public
No, they
picks
they
it.
picked their top 10, and now
Oh.
we get
Put
to
it in
vote.
the
Now
chat
it's
room?
up
Damn.
to us, the
Can you throw it in the
consumer.
chat room?
Yeah.
How fun. We could all vote.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
get on this.
I
like,
think so.
White on rice.
I'm gonna do a live shot from the Taco Bell Cantina and Wedding Chapel.
I'm sure
Fra-
they love it.
from
Please
his
do.
double wide.
Yes, do.
Fair enough.
We'll be playing it on April 3rd,
All right.
4th, 5th. One of those is a Tuesday. Just pick one.
All right. Love and tacos.
4th.
4th.
There you go. There you go.
April 4th. We'll have a little live on the scene. Well, not live.
Do I need to log
it.
in
It was
to
live
Taco
a couple
Bell?
days ago. Do I need to
Oh,
log
I don't know.
into
I haven't
Taco
voted.
Bell?
I've just been reading.
You
Oh.
just walk in the door.
No, it says
That's the
there's
beauty of Taco Bell. They let you right in.
there's a login.
Shut the fuck up.
Love
Yeah,
and
you can
tacos,
log in.
like, for real.
Well, they want you because they want to harvest your email. Of course they do.
Official rules.
started
There are
rejecting that where
official
possible.
Rules.
Yeah.
I was at Party City the other day, and they're like, "Can we start with your email?" I said, "No."
Oh.
Go back to Party City where you belong.
I have
They're
to
the
say,
ones
though,
with the giant balloons.
The voting
you-
phase is over.
All your T-Rex balloons. You
If you
fucker
present me
this.
with love
Does
and
it?
tacos, you got yourself a taker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How about just tacos?
They're actually judging through
and a good sauce.
day.
May I pass on your kind request for love and just take the tacos? It's kind of like leave the gun, take the cannoli.
It's fantastic. I love that quote.
Oh, I kind of feel like I need a taco now from the old Taco Bell. Wow.
I almost stopped at one. There's one on my way here.
We
from-
almost
from the
called
Bride
you.
offices.
Almost called you to bring coffee, but we realized that the
Oh.
emergency is now over.
I'm so sorry. There was.
Because
You
I got
should have called me.
Well, I got on a sugar high from a 7-Up I had a while ago, so I'm good now. I just needed to get over
you
the
needed
hurdle.
to balance that sugar with some caffeine. Is
No,
that
I just
what-
wanted to up the ante. I
right.
wanted a little more.
Okay,
Kind of like love and tacos.
Higher,
I wanted
higher,
I wanted
higher.
more of one.
Can a taco be a burrito and can the love part be left at home? So
Maybe in the form of a dress.
maybe I just edit your kind request. So Benji, who's from North Carolina,
Oh.
says that now
love it.
RuPaul's gonna have them do dresses out of wrappers. That this is gonna be.
Just
Oh,
get her
there
to
you
move
go.
the fucking show from a
From
Friday
Friday.
night
Yeah.
to almost any other night of the week, preferably Thursdays.
Oh, Benji, I forgot to tell you.
Right, she's killing
She's
me.
bitter.
She's killing everybody.
Yeah.
That's,
She's killing me.
yeah, you work on a Friday night, and they're going to do it at your bar.
No,
aren't
of course
they?
they are. Are you kidding
That's
me?
asinine to kill. I mean, I don't know how good your happy
No,
hour has been.
it's actually going to work out really well for us because of just the way our traffic pattern goes. It's if we
Because
can, if we
I've
can
been
show
there
it
for
about
I've been there for
7,
happy hour, Cat. I mean,
That's not happy hour. Stop spreading rumors.
From another angle, it's there's that. All right, yeah, go with her.
No,
Just
no,
kidding.
no,
I'm just
no.
kidding.
That's the day shift.
What
Settle
about
down.
what about it being recorded and then watching it, like making it a Saturday
But who cares?
day thing?
No,
to
Well,
get
because
people
nobody
in there?
cares by
Nobody
that. No, no,
cares.
you're gonna have
Oh,
to do it day
sorry.
of, and it's gonna do
No,
well.
but I mean, and I'm not being rude. That's just the
Yeah.
fact of the matter. The gays want to sit in a bar
Right.
with all their bitchy friends and watch it at the same time.
We
and make
already
all
have
the comments.
reservations for it.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not surprised. But there's
Oh.
no way I'm going to go to Stacy's and interrupt a busy happy hour.
Right.
Because half of them are the old queens, the old guys, who don't really give a fuck. I mean, if you're going to interrupt their Steely Dan song in the background, they're going to kill you.
I feel like he's talking to me.
No,
I'm not mad about Steely Dan.
Yeah.
myself.
but they know who you are.
When you say Al Perkins, they go, "Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
Steely Dan
play
again.
Steely Dan again.
If Brandy's playing in the background, don't interrupt it because the story I'm telling about 1960 is a great
She
story.
brought her double wide.
They don't want to
right
hear
there.
RuPaul and go and again the kids
she's a fine girl."
the kids who watch RuPaul in general, not all, because obviously you've got reservations. They're a younger generation and they aren't going to be at a bar at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening on a Friday.
Okay.
They're just not. That's why I always showed everything later because you get off work, you go home, you go to the gym, you eat, whatever you do, and then you come to watch. But again, it's on basic cable now. It's on VH1. Logo is a premium channel that you have to get a package for. So everybody has access now.
Right.
So she may have more of a viewership. She may get different ratings. I get all that. But I think she's killed it for the bars and the big following she has.
Okay. Yeah.
That's me.
No,
We'll see.
And in the land of DVRs, I have to tell you, like live or not, like no one really cares about
And I'm the
nights of the week because no one would put anything on a Friday night on purpose. Like you've got to be banking on a DVR
On
population.
DVR, yeah.
right. And I will tell you, for one, I don't think I'll watch the show at all. I have no interest in the show other than being in the bar when
the fun
some
part
queen
of it, right.
backstabs another one and the drama.
And the reaction that
that's
happens.
all
Yeah.
I give. I don't
Because
know
I
the-
could not tell any of those queens apart.
I don't know
Yeah.
the names of them.
I don't know who the fuck they are.
I know like Raja from season 2 or 3 only because I met her. That's it.
That's nice.
And Rue. I know who Rue is.
Sure.
She's the tall black queen.
Right. She had the one
Oh,
song. She had the song.
RuPaul.
She had two. She had Free to Be.
Oh, that's true. I didn't know that one.
She has one every year.
Yeah,
they
the-
suck. She has one every year, and she forces those queens, the three that are in the top three, she forces them to make a music video of her current song
Oh,
and
God.
put it out every year.
That's
not
terrorism.
And it sounds just it sounds like every other song she ever put out.
Boots and cats.
I
and
love-
boots and cats and boots and
I
cats.
love
Exactly.
I love Free to Be from Wigstock. I
Yeah.
love that song. But it was fun when I would I played that for a while, like on trips home or when my mom was out here. And he's like, "You got that right. You got that right. You got that right." My mom was so offended because she thought that you were saying, "You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right."
Little Ruthie pissed
And
off.
she was like, "We get it. You're goddamn right." I'm like, "No, you got that right. Like you have the right to do something." She's like, "Oh, that's a very nice song."
Oh, good. Is there more vodka, Al?
Oh, I think that's a delight.
It's a lovely song, Alfie.
That's fantastic.
Marn, you
Yep.
go
Yeah.
enjoy
Yeah.
something you're gonna find.
Did your computer
No,
freeze
I
again?
I actually just had this up and then oh, here we go. Okay. There we have it. All right. So there were a couple of gay siblings. And they brilliantly pranked their homophobic parents by dating each other's partners.
Oh.
Right? A gay brother and sister were, with conservative homophobic parents, made lemonade out of lemons by figuring out a genius plan to have sleepovers with their partners under their parents' roof. The brother shared his scheme, and now it's gone viral. My sister's a lesbian, and I'm gay, but our parents are very conservative. So she dates my boyfriend,
wow.
and I date her girlfriend.
Thank you for
Yes.
that. I was like,
I was
I don't know
watching all
where
your
the connect
faces.
the dots
Yeah,
go
I
with
was,
this.
So if they stay over, they just stay in opposite rooms. The joke's on my parents, right? So, my sister, by opposite rooms.
Love and tacos.
Exactly. Talk about your well, in one room.
Made a diagram
Yeah.
in case
And
you
a-
Oh,
didn't.
go, oh.
Yeah.
Only in one
So
room.
you have the lesbian
Oh, yeah.
and her girlfriend.
Yep.
And then you have the homo and his boyfriend.
Got it.
And so when they do sleepovers, the boyfriend, like a pink, hangs out,
Appears to.
appears to
Got it.
stay with the lesbian.
This diagram is really helpful.
Appears to be dating the
The
lesbian.
colors are
And
really
the
nice.
girlfriend appears to be
Dating a homo.
dating
Got
the
it.
homo.
And then,
But then they
But think
switch
about
a
the
room.
musical theater and
like
change tires in that story.
There you go. Yeah. See? Okay.
what are you doing? Changing the oil?
Yeah.
I wrote a musical about
Working
changing
it out.
tires
Yeah, sure.
during this sleepover.
I want to see that musical. What?
Sure you do.
So but what a great way to get around those homophobic parents.
Well,
And
so now that
still
it's gone
have.
viral, how has that worked out? Is there a
Well, they're
4-pound
adults
sledgehammer
now.
somewhere?
No, they're
Oh.
yeah, they're adults now.
I was
So
gonna say,
he
I've
was
just made a
telling-
diagram, so
yeah.
the
So-
jig is
The
up.
jig
Yeah.
is up.
So now
Yeah.
okay.
The taco truck has left the
So
building.
we're long past then a coming out story somewhere along the way where they got disowned by these parents. I'm gonna assume somewhere.
Probably when they walked in the
And they had to
bedroom.
get a double wide to bring all the inclusivity, all the inclusivity back in the family.
Because the parents probably figured that the guys were over here in the room talking about football and things, because that's what dudes
And
do.
there'd be like 45 minutes on that burrito dress because the lesbians weren't wearing it and the gays were trying to make it.
Yeah, because they got a friend at school who's
That
in a
happened
contest.
here.
That's a good point. That's a really
The
good
lesbians are
point.
trying to get pants on it.
Can we make this a nice pantsuit?
That's it, right.
Yeah, without it ripping.
With a slight drop
yeah.
crotch.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sweat in
there
hot
be-
sauce.
No, it's not cute. It's not.
Nobody likes the smell of vinegar now.
No.
Wow.
And I gotta go. I've got another appointment.
I'm sorry, I double booked. Bye.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, hopefully the parents just think that they're having a lovely heterosexual sleep. And
Oh, yeah.
You
Then it
know.
turns into an episode of Frasier.
Exactly. I love it. I love it.
Wow.
I got bombed. What happened? How many times did y'all say double wide?
Did you have anything to eat today?
Yeah, I went
Grapes.
to eat, but yeah.
The turn.
A gravestone help.
I have I took my wine and made unfermented grapes.
It's an exhausting journey.
It was an exhausting journey.
And then he'll go home to his double wine.
How does that work?
Lord.
You're drinking wine and eating grapes. Is that is that fuel on the fire?
It's before
And after.
and after.
Sure. Makes sense to me.
It's really a cooking show. I just forgot to tell you how you get from one step to the
All we
other.
need is some raisins. Because of raisins
And then the much later is me face down on my couch. I love Joe Crawford.
Liar.
Somehow I think that's not Pepsi. It's vodka, 100 proof. I think if you're gonna drink, you might as well like it.
That was a great line.
I just took a pen and paper. And
Oh.
I gotta write that down.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch
I
it
assume
again.
that's not Pepsi.
Yeah, no,
Vodka, 100 proof.
Yeah. Welcome to the house that fear built or hate built. Which one was it? When they walk, I've lost her already. Fuck her. Doesn't matter. A retired dentist whose bright yellow car was written off by vandals for damaging a picture postcard village view. Excuse me, I should have said a picture postcard village view.
Read the whole sentence.
Has brought a gray car. He's bought a gray car to avoid getting targeted again. Peter Maddox's beloved 3-year-old, and I'm not sure this car brand, Vohal Corsa.
Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Maybe just reading it wrong.
Was written off as it sustained some $7,400 worth of damage after some vandals scratched the word move in the paint of the hood. Also, the windows were smashed in as well. This banana-colored car kind of fueled a feud that erupted back in 2015.
Wait, I thought it was gray. Now it's banana
No.
colored?
He bought a gray car. He had a yellow car.
Oh, well, I've drawn the car, and now I gotta make it yellow.
Wait, I got
damn it.
pictures. I got pictures.
But it makes so much more sense when Kat draws it.
Here is the retired
Not this
dentist.
drawing.
Here's the retired dentist with yellow car.
Yeah.
Got
Oh,
it.
hello, yellow
Better
car.
than picture. Well, maybe not better than that. But
This is not all
The
right.
feud centered on complaints from photographers
That's
and
a car for a
tourists.
person?
Yes, it's full size. It's a Volkswagen, actually.
You
It looks
fit in.
it looks like a Volkswagen logo, but who knows?
It looks like a matchbox.
It's centered on complaints from photographers and tourists who were bitching about the car photobombing their photos of this picturesque Arlington Row set of houses where the homes date back to the 14th century. But to avoid detection and in any effort to enjoy peaceful retirement, he opted to buy another car. So what they were bitching about were things like this. They would take a lovely photo of this lovely, and this yellow car was in the middle of a picture. They hated it. So to appease all of these people from vandalizing his car, he bought a muted color gray car just because to leave him alone.
Oh, fuck them. They're the kind of people that bring their dogs to
English
work.
people are weird. No, this is a story out of England, and English people are fucking weird.
Unless
Is he
they
British?
own dogs.
Yes, he's British.
See?
What did they want him to do? A horse and buggy?
Yes.
No, but they just didn't like that outlandish color in the midst of all of this drabness that they had.
In the
Exactly.
serenity.
The yellow is offensive to Her Majesty's eye.
Oh.
Because, I mean, in this quaint little village where all the houses are like
People that are
this.
just get a gun and shoot those fuckers.
I mean, there's a. I mean, I don't know why they're
That's
bitching.
too far.
There's a red park bench in the fucking middle of this
I
picture.
know.
Are they gonna vandalize that too?
The worst.
I felt bad for the guy.
Stop taking
Assholes.
pictures of this guy's house.
So
This is why we revolted.
No. That's why we had to have that Boston
Right.
Tea Party.
He is the reason there is a get off the lawn, get off my lawn
off
guy.
my lawn.
his daughter said he does like bright colors and he liked his bright yellow car, but since he feels that he was targeted because of its color, he doesn't want to attract the same attention, so he bought a gray car to appease all of the other people.
And now he's facing depression.
And now they're gonna say move because there's a car in their, 1800s photo.
There's a follow-up to this story.
There
Since the
always
story
is.
of his vandalized car, yellow car owners and people from around the country have shown their support for the 84-year-old man. A bright yellow car convoy has been organized to travel to his village on April 1st. Peter will be attending on the day as a passenger and will also be choosing his favorite yellow car in which to ride. Money raised from the event will go towards the Butterfly Garden, this is going to be hard, a Cheltenham charity chosen by Peter and his family for the
European.
funds. European.
May I just?
You can do whatever you want.
So there were tens of people at a Trump rally, but they're going to have a caravan
Caravan, convoy, whatever you call it.
Convoy.
Yeah.
of yellow cars.
For
So
this
we
guy.
can get the
Breaker,
yellow
breaker,
cars.
19. This
I'm
here's the
loving,
rubber duck.
Right?
We got ourselves a
we got a-
convoy.
Smokey's on the back door. Come back.
There's always that person that you're like, oh, you bought a yellow car.
No, but I'm loving that they can get probably more than tens of people together.
Right.
But that dickbag can't get.
When you're looking at the cars, you're like, oh, I was hoping for yellow.
It depends on the car, I'm
It
sure.
does,
I mean, yeah.
Now, I will have to say, though,
That said a yellow Xterra, and it was pretty cool.
okay.
I do enjoy the yellow Xterra.
And there's
really
also
pretty
the
cool.
yellow Mercedes or whatever it was from Heart to Heart. What did she drive?
She had a Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
That yellow Mercedes.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. Oh my God, I have this album.
I love this song.
For sure. Coming over to your double wide.
Mercy sakes alive.
Convoy! Oh, we got to get. How long we get into the. Boy. I used to love this stupid song.
Oh, I know, big time. I said I have this album.
The original choreography to Convoy.
fantastic.
Recreated
Later on in the show-
lovingly.
Later on the show, we'll play Eastbound and Down by Jerry Reed.
Eastbound and Down.
Still dead.
Not long ago, we staged that in a drag show, and they stuck me up on a big like shoe shine chair as the trucker. So I sat up there
love it.
with it, you know,
Reenacting all of
just
the trucker
reenacting
moves.
all of it,
Sure.
grabbing my CB, just the whole thing.
Here we go, here we go. There's a thirsty in Atlanta, and there's beer in Texarkana. We're in this band no matter what it takes. Eastbound and down, rolling up and trucking. Woo!
We gonna do what they say can't be done.
Okay, Al Perkins fucking knows that song.
So they
That
were smoking the band.
it is, but the fact that you actually know that song,
It's true.
Oh, it's 70s music. I'm a savant.
That's a good
like,
song.
don't doubt me.
I feel like
That's
a fun
fantastic.
one.
We
part
don't
of my
do what
world
they
has
say
been
can't be
validated
done.
that Al Perkins knows that song.
Knows Eastbound and Down.
Right. Yes.
Long
I
way
feel
to
better.
go and a
Who
short
Round
time
to get there.
Okay, first of all, it was in a movie, so why are you surprised?
No, but that song
With
It was
Sally
in a
Field.
movie.
doesn't matter. Doesn't.
Yeah,
it was
with
in a great
Sally
movie.
Field.
It was a great movie with Sally Field as Frog.
Yeah.
I quote everything from the theme song to the end of that movie. You didn't spring from my
Son of a
loins.
Bitch.
Good work. Good
Anyhow.
work.
God, I feel there's a validation now. I feel.
And my favorite is when he first starts speeding and she like looks at him and she's like, "Are you late for a hot bowling date?"
I don't remember.
There's
that.
something about the way she says that line that I was like, "Oh, I love Sally Field. She's perky."
Yeah.
I do
She
enjoy
is
her.
perky.
She is. She's very perky. My
And
God.
thus concludes the country music part of my
First,
program.
right.
Correct. But that
But
was
the drinking
fun.
word is still double wide.
Yeah.
Okay,
makes
moving
sense.
on. Wait, you're me. We're done.
I
Yeah,
don't even know.
that was 4.
If your partner should happen to have suggested to go out for a Burger King meal on Valentine's Day, it's unlikely that Burger King would be on the top of your list of dream venues for that lovely engagement. However, nevertheless, the food chain, they were capitalizing on the Day of Love with a special Valentine's Day promotion, offering dinners as with an adult meal rather than a child's meal with a child's toy. Now, before I get too excited about this was only available in Israel. There's a YouTube video that offers the sound of the voice of the commercial. So I thought maybe we might just take a little gander and listen to the commercial from Burger King, how they're selling their special meal on this day. And this is not a fake story. This is legitimate.
Kids meal? That's for kids. Burger King presents the adult's meal with an adult toy inside. Only on Valentine's Day and only from 6 p.m. Burger King.
Well, strap down my double wide.
Strap
Oh,
on,
And
yeah.
call me a whopper.
Yeah.
I'm feeling.
Why do I have to wait till 6 p.m. to get my toy? Was I bad?
The campaign was produced by
Hopefully.
by ad agency Leo Burnett. Any diners in the United Kingdom on the lookout for a Valentine's Day meal might want to head over to Subway, who on that day were offering a free
Foot long?
free 6-inch sub with the purchase of a drink. That's all it says.
Wishful thinking, my friend. Wishful thinking.
But I like how the commercial had like the Burger King equivalent of a Happy Meal box, and it just flashes 18 plus, and it shows I don't know what the fuck those toys were. It would come out.
Not that hard to figure it out.
One looked like a feather duster.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
The Tickler.
Oh.
Very nice.
Oh, come on, girls. It didn't take you that long, did it?
That was nice. I like it.
You
I
know,
actually have a.
You haven't played with a feather duster?
I actually have a feather duster in there.
During the strap it down, and what the other thing they did? Put a foundation
Put a skirt on it.
Put a skirt.
And then they,
Is that real?
and then they play.
I love it when he gets going like that. I'm done.
And then they play Eastbound and Down.
Well, I'm strapped down with a skirt on. What else am I going to do?
We're gonna do what they say can't be done, honey.
Right.
That's what we're gonna do.
We got a
It's
long
gonna-
way to go and a
There's
short
only
time
one
to get
feather
there.
duster between the four of us. Sign up quick. Spots are going fast.
And I'm late for church. I gotta see you guys later.
Funny how you got always so many things coming up.
I'm first with a feather duster. Excuse me.
Oh, got it.
Well, I don't want to be second.
Yeah, no kidding.
How about if you just keep that?
Yeah, right? Can't we each have one? I mean, wait a minute. Wait, whoa.
Everyone should have their own.
Yeah.
They all have their own.
Safe feather dusting is really what it comes down to.
Those aren't transferable.
Exactly. I don't think that
No.
they are.
Why would you want them to be?
Oh, well.
Oh, fuck. Anyway, play later. We're gonna. He's
What are we
doing
doing
it.
now?
Well,
He's taking a little break.
yeah, he's gonna do that. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna come back with our entertainment section in a second. Oh my God! Can't play that. Where? Oh, I have so many windows open right now. There's things happening. Things happen. I can't.
Very busy. It's very
Lots
busy.
going on. We'll be back with Entertainment Al right after this. Here we go. Make magic.
Why can't you treat me the way I would be treated by any stranger on the street?
You're listening to Q Talk America.
If you think it sucked so far, just wait till after this 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Entertainment! I thought it was. Don't I have a song that starts us up? We have some documentaries. One touching, one the most bizarre thing I've ever seen on television. A movie review. Kudos to a movie producer. I just keep singing his praises, and I think he's got to marry me soon.
Oh.
We're gonna talk about a death den that's strangely tied to our TV movie of the week extravaganza that I watched this morning, and Harrison has a book for us for our list. So
Slow down. I can only do like one a month. There.
I know.
I'm in the middle of last month's.
Oh, and I'm just about to start.
Good.
So the first thing we have is two documentaries. They're both on HBO right now, the one might just be an HBO documentary. But Tickled, we talked about last year, and I wasn't sure what it was about except for tickling. And I was saying like that the bizarre was like the review that I read was saying it's too much to really review. Just let you know that it seems kind of dirty and it's kind of provocative, but it has this weird twist. It's called Tickled. I don't even I honestly was waiting for it to turn out to be a Christopher Guest Waiting for Guffman Best in Show thing. It's so bizarre, and it's the world of tickling. The fetish of watching people be tickled, the fetish of being tickled, the fetish of being the tickler. So
Isn't that on Batman?
yes,
I didn't even think of that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Might
if
have
you
been the
get a
Riddler,
chance,
the Tickler or
watch
something.
this. And there's a point about halfway through.
Oh, that's
Gently
happening.
used. Gently used.
Oh. Please don't wave that around too
no.
much, because that's awkward. Don't put it on my stuff.
I'm hoping he's dusted with it.
He
I
knew
just
right
thought
where
about
that was, by the way.
Yeah, I know. She ran right for it.
Yeah, that was a little creepy.
I honestly can't give too much away, but find this documentary, and it does start off as
I don't know if I can.
mildly erotic.
I'm with you. I'm like,
but
oh.
then it turns into this international crime story about stolen identities and harassment and like.
Was it murder?
It
Tickling them to death?
I'm violently opposed.
I cannot even tell you how bizarre this documentary turns.
Huh.
And I just happened to. I had fallen asleep on the couch watching something else, and my TV just.
Netflix does that to me too. It just keeps going.
It keeps
for
going.
about 3 hours, and then it says, "Hey, are you still
watching?"
watching?"
Yeah.
But this was one of those things where the show that I had DVR'd, but the was on HBO, so it just went to what was currently playing on HBO. It must have been last Sunday after, like John Oliver or something. And I was riveted. I was so tired, but at a certain point, I'm like, "Huh? What? What? Huh?" I was like, "Oh no, hell no!" And I mean, I went and opened a bottle of wine and just sat there and watched the end, shocked by it. So I mean, you really, I just can't prepare you for everything that's going to happen in this documentary. It starts off as
I just don't know.
yeah.
I just can't prepare you.
I can't. And I just realized this says ticked, not tickled, but I knew what I was talking about. And then the other one, I'm not sure.
Now, Ticked and Tickled are two entirely different shows.
But
Apparently
and so
not
it
during
turns
this
out watching
documentary.
the tickling, the actual videos of the tickling, is strangely erotic, because there's all these straight men that signed up to be tickled, and then for like what, and then but then they think they're just auditioning to be in a video, and the video's not going to be out there, but I guess there's videos all over, and it's this fetishist.
Wow.
Sure.
Thing.
I'll allow
It's crazy, and it's like one of those things that you're like, did 90 minutes really just go by?
I hate being tickled.
And I'm not ticklish at all, so I don't even understand the concept.
Right.
Like,
No, but I mean, that's why, because I don't believe that unless I've gone to get a pedicure, and then I do some giggling. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem I have with pedicure.
That's because your feet get like.
I don't like people touching me.
No, I don't. I'm
That's
going
true.
to.
We have Sharon on the phone who'd like to talk to you about that.
so I
mean,
really
like,
have to
It's
say,
a sensitive subject.
but it's not. It seems like it's going to be about the fetish of tickling, but it's not. It's
Okay.
this. It's just. It takes a bizarre turn where it's kind of like what's this? The searching for the Freedmans or whatever. It's capturing the Freedmans. Where it's about party clowns, but then it just takes this turn in the middle that it's no longer
serial
about
killers.
No, it's about child molestation.
Oh,
and
no,
you're like,
that's what I meant.
or Harvey Milk, you know, is supposed to be a documentary about teachers, and then it turns into, you know, like when a documentary just takes a turn into being about something completely different than the original thing.
All right.
It's really riveting. And then the one that it was very, very sad, very different, and a slice, just a portrait of a band that I just was not ready for. It's called Eagles of Death Metal. I'm sorry, that's the name of the band, and it's called Nos Amis. And it's the band that was playing at the club in Paris when they had the shootings all over Paris.
Oh no.
And so it's from the nightclub, and it turns out that I think he's the drummer. Also plays for Queens. I think he's from Queensryche, if I'm not mistaken. So he only occasionally plays with Eagles of Death Metal. Sometimes they tour
Wasn't
without
that who
him.
Barbara Seville?
Queensryche was who Barbara
yeah.
correct? Yeah,
Okay.
So and I'm not sure. I didn't write that down, but I think that's who the band member that they have in common. And I don't think he was at the Paris show because he doesn't always tour with them. So it's a whole documentary interviewing this guy, and he decides they're going to play again, but they're going to go back to a club in Paris and play. And it is just a gut-wrenching interview with this man who was present for this thing where, like, his concert was attacked, whether it was because they were American, whether it was chosen at random. His thoughts on it and his thoughts about going back on stage, you know, his friend that he started the band with, trying to encourage him, and French TV interviews, so you get to see like him being interviewed like right after.
It's Queens of the Stone Age, not
Queens
Queens.
of the Stone Age is the other band that they have a band member in common. And I guess Queens of the Stone Age is big enough that he can't take time off from that band's touring schedule to always tour with Eagles of Death Metal.
That makes sense.
And so it's just a fascinating documentary. It's called Eagles of Death Metal, Nos Amis. I was so moved by this guy who's clearly never in his life thought of anything besides being like a hard rock, like a heavy metal performer, a raging rocker that's all of a sudden faced with this huge tragedy that he becomes like a face for, and he just like whether he finds grace or doesn't find grace or finds the way to cope with it, you don't know. But it was a riveting thing, and it's on HBO right now, but I don't know where it came from. I don't know if that's an HBO documentary, but if you can find it, it was tough watching, but I was so fascinated by his story and someone just being forced into such a horrible situation, and the candor, just you know what I mean, to just let everything he just spills his guts. He's so open. And then the producer that I keep telling you guys watch for and marry him, because this man makes a butt ton of money. His name is Jason Blum, and he has an Oscar nomination because he
was he able to buy a double wide?
Yes, he could buy a couple. Because he's the one that keeps making these horror movies that I like, that he makes them for like $4 and $5 million. So he took in M. Night
Shyamalan.
Yeah, whose name I always say wrong. He took him in and did Split. So they just did Split for like under $10 million. That's now made like $250 million internationally. It's about this guy with the split personalities that kidnaps the girls. And it's kind of a horror movie, and for some reason Betty Buckley's in it. But now
I think I'd probably like that.
Yeah, but he did like the Sinister movies. He did the original Saw movie. He makes all these low budget movies that go on to make huge amounts of money. Well, he teamed up with Jordan Peele from Key and Peele.
Oh, sure.
And I didn't realize it was directed by him, but he directed that movie from last week called Get Out, the horror movie about the black guy that goes to the white suburbs with his girlfriend. And oh my God, it was so much fun. And there's a character that might as well be Jordan Peele. It's someone just playing Jordan Peele as the hero comic relief. So it was scary and really funny at the same time. It's very good, but it's another one from this Blumhouse Productions that now anytime I see Blumhouse Productions, I'm just in, because he did Whiplash.
All right.
So he's Oscar nominated now, and I'm like, I need to marry this
guy.
guy.
Oh, that's what I remember you talking about.
Yeah, because I talk about it's Jason Blum and all the movies he makes.
Well, I remember
so
Saw
impressed.
and all that, but I couldn't remember what he was nominated for.
Came up and did Whiplash. Well, now he's got two of the biggest movies of the year, both made for like next to nothing, and they're both very good. Split was good. Just don't look for a surprise ending, because there isn't one. And Get Out was like tense, but you kept laughing through the whole thing. Like, it was very, very shady, but it's very good. So if you get a chance, if you like, it's not horror movie if there's nothing gory that goes on.
Right.
It's more like a suspense thriller with comedy. I don't get that, but it was really good. And then we gotta go to Death Den. So let me get a second so I can pay this man some honest
Do we have
tribute.
music?
Oh. No, we're not gonna do a whole thing like that.
Just kidding.
So Robert Osborne.
Oh.
Shit. Who was the host of Turner Classic Movies and I think a show called Essentials, if I'm not mistaken. That was the name of the show that was on Turner Classic Movies. He used to be an actor, a lifelong love of old films, and he has been hosting Turner Classic Movies, I think, since '94 was what they said. Yeah, last 23 years, silver-haired Mr. Osborne brought a sophisticated, gentlemanly air to Turner Classic Movies, where he turned his savant-like familiarity with films, their backstories, and their stars into absorbing intros, outros, and interviews. And this whole year of me doing the 31 Days of Oscar this last month, I kept waiting for him. Like, why doesn't he have...
Why isn't he there?
Even if it's from years past, like, why aren't they throwing him out there instead of these...
Right, because the facts of old movies aren't changing.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. They could have shown old clips of him doing the outros and intros with the facts.
Because there's some that I just associate with the movie. So I want to see that Robert, like, because they used to play you know what I mean? He didn't do something new each time. So there's a couple movies that I like his little, like, the things that he knows about movies. He typically introduced 18 movies a week, as well as marathons and special presentations. And I think he was... if I've got this right, he worked for Desilu Productions as a contract player, and so he knew Lucille Ball that way, and he got to know many stars, and he loved leading ladies. He was a big fan of Olivia de Havilland. He was really trying to get her to Atlanta for the anniversary of Gone with the Wind, because she's the last surviving cast member. And that was his last big campaign, was for the last big anniversary. He wanted her there. and he became friends with a lot of those leading ladies. So some of his stories that he would tell were actually personal stories that he knew, but he would always do it as someone said, you know. Oh, he has an uncredited role in Psycho. He was in the Beverly Hillbillies. But somebody suggested in the 70s that he start becoming a columnist. And that's what he did. But he was just so wonderful before and after old movies and just his folksy way. And I knew that I knew he was friends with Olivia de Havilland. I think he was close friends with Betty Davis towards the end of her career. But he was just just a nice man and just made watching old movies fun. To have that little bit of trivia, and you knew he was a fan. You knew you weren't watching some
I liked his
dickhead.
voice.
Yeah.
A lot.
Oh, he was very calming.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I was just looking through right quick to see if I could find still pictures of him younger in like scenes from movies or scenes from. I stumbled upon one that was from Beverly Hillbillies, but I was looking for something else that might be a little more recognizable. I never realized he was a younger actor. I always wondered how he was connected, but I never realized that he was an actor.
And I knew he had acted, but the Desilu thing I had just heard yesterday. He was friends with Elizabeth Taylor for a long time too.
Yeah.
So a lot of, like I said, a lot of his stories were personal. And Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf was always one that he had good gossip about. I think that was the movie I wanted him to be on after. And then speaking of people that were friendly in real life, it turns out as a young boy or a younger man, Ryan Murphy started a pen pal correspondence with Betty Davis.
Wow.
And she wrote back.
Wow.
And then eventually, as he got a little bit older, he interviewed her several times and actually got to know her. And so this whole thing with him doing Feud, you have a little bit of an insider, not from the 60s, but from later, like the late 70s to her death in the late 80s. He actually knew her. So Feud is on FX. It started off a little bit shaky. I was not enjoying
every second I've enjoyed it.
Oh, just the opening thing with the interview with Olivia de Havilland. I just found.
Oh, I don't like those.
Yeah,
I don't know why they
found
need
that
those.
part to be a little like I had to watch that like twice to get through.
Take it back. I didn't like it every second. I thought those were awkward.
Yeah. And I was like, "Is this real? Like, what is this about?"
But apparently, there was a documentary in '78 where they were interviewed for, but they're reenacting it. I don't know why.
Right, and that's what I thought too. Like,
couldn't
just,
get the rights to the original.
If this is a real thing. I like that you give actresses that aren't working work, and that Kathy Bates has a job for the rest of her life.
Catherine Zeta-Jones and.
But the Catherine Zeta-Jones, I just thought Olivia de Havilland just has that strange way of speaking, and if you're not gonna,
play to that,
since you're playing her on camera, being her professional self, then I was like, then be fake.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
was it that transatlantic accent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's now we gotta look it up. I think Olivia de Havilland is, if she's not British, she pretended she was, and she did have that.
Well, because that was a thing. I read a whole article about that transatlantic accent.
Yeah, Katharine Hepburn suffered from that the most.
Very affected, especially early in movies.
When they went from silent to speaking, they had speaking movies. They had to pick. They had to decide how they were going to sound because a lot of the silent movie actors were foreign and didn't speak English or had heavy accents, or they were like really
or like Singing in the Rain.
Yeah, or very Brooklyn. They had to be dubbed, and that's what killed a lot of careers was their accents, their voices. So, and Joan Crawford was a silent movie star who had to do that affected voice. But Katharine Hepburn's famous she's like the most famous version of like, but she's from Connecticut. So
but still,
that
was a very distinctive. Her staccato and everything with her was very.
But Olivia de Havilland was British, and that's what hers came from. Which they may have gone with. Catherine Zeta-Jones was Welsh, so maybe they were getting somebody from the island. I don't really know. I just thought that she looked like her, but like it kept throwing me off. But then they get into the movie, and so well done.
Oh my gosh,
so well done. And they're not just impersonating Betty Davis. They're just doing it as like you could watch this movie without knowing who either one of them are or know this movie, and it would just be about two struggling older actresses that don't really like each other coming together to make a movie.
That's a fact.
And
totally.
you really could watch it. And Jessica Lange, Susan Sarandon is very good, and it's uncanny how much she looks like Bette Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Like they showed her walking down the stairs in All About Eve, like, and she was reenacting that, and I'm like, that's Susan Sarandon. Like I actually a couple times was like, that's
Right
Susan Sarandon. Jessica Lange really doesn't look like Joan Crawford at all, but she's just playing this egotistical, frail. What's that word?
She's a terrified woman in life because she's losing everything.
She's
her
playing
insecurities
this
are everywhere.
Egomaniac,
but she's totally not letting it show on the outside. But it's funny because it really is. It's interesting to see how that is being put together with just bullshitting her way through this because she's broke as hell.
Yeah,
completely broke. Everything's done. The gardeners haven't been paid. None of that's going on. But she's got to put forth this.
Yeah, but still has a boyfriend and a man. You know what I mean? In the house, but it's so well done and I was like checking out the timing. I got a little because at one point I was like, all right, I feel like we're combining some history, but like they seem to have the timing right because the movie really was filmed in 30 days.
Okay.
She really did go see her on stage in the Night of the Iguana, and the woman who was playing the lead did win the Tony, like in Steal Her Thunder, and Bette Davis never got a job after All About Eve, like was having a hard time finding roles, and but just the way they're playing them is not. I know some people really want it to be imitations.
Over the top.
But Joan Crawford was so polished in her interviews that you need to see her like how she would present herself, not the mommy dearest crazy woman that only her daughter saw.
Right.
These people aren't going to see that except for, the drunk at the valet. Like you'll see it eventually, but not day to day.
Sure.
But I mean, and the drinking between all of it, because it's just that era of everyone's 6 drinks in.
Everyone's drunk and smoking like a chimney.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they're making out, a lot of times people tiptoe around Hedda Hopper. Hedda Hopper was just an evil cunt and just awful and thought she ran the town. And they make her out. It's Judy Davis and another fantastic performance.
She is.
Like her lipstick's horrible. They've made her teeth horrible. She's just a living piranha. And it was funny because in Trumbo last year, they gave Helen Mirren the characteristics, but they didn't really capture this was not a pretty woman, and she certainly wasn't one that could dress it up and make it look good. Like she looked like she walked out of the country. You know what I mean? Like she was singing Eastbound and Down while she put that hat on. So it's riveting. I stayed up way too late this morning.
I was into it. I watched it today too.
And it was fabulous. And there's so many different things that I caught while they were doing it. And one of the things that the Wilk and I almost wanted to just post, fine, you know more about old Hollywood than I do, shut up. Because I caught dead on. Like I knew nothing about the scene that was coming, but when it gets there and they're about to sign the contracts, and the photographer says to the other one, which one do you think's going to sit on the left? And he's like, well, why does it matter? And it's like, get top billing in the picture. Yeah. And when you see them go for it, I was all on board on that. And he thought the only thing was the scene showed was that she got pissed about the contract number dispute. I'm like, how did you
No, it was a whole, they leapfrogged each other.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
To get to the left and then standing up and looking down.
Oh, but he's like, well, she never get to sit next to her. She stood there.
Stood over her. Yeah, she's not only on the left, she's on the top.
I just about told him to fuck off right there on Tracer.
Good.
I'm like, we're not going to beat this up. Stevie Wonder could have seen this scene. I mean, it really was easy. So all of those, and when Bette Davis walks on set and sees the fucking Pepsi machine the first day of shooting, and then she realizes all the gifts. Oh my God. So many wonderful lines. And I'm sure, now that you say that about Ryan Murphy, I mean, he had a total insight. Betty sat there and told him all of these personal stories about how this all really went down.
Right. And
her recollection of how that
might
went.
know more about the marriage. And, everybody was pretty candid about what went on the set. Like Joan's insecurities, Bette Davis, just wanting that role to be everything. Because she wanted that 3rd Oscar. Do not be fooled by people who say it was an honor to just be nominated. Bette Davis wanted to be the first woman with 3 Oscars. And when she lost for All About Eve, she thought her chance was gone. So when she saw Baby Jane, she did, and that's from Robert Osborne, she did her own makeup. she knew no one would do that to her face. She
Right.
absolutely knew.
They
but-
would make her too glamorous.
And Joan did all her preparation of how she was going to play the character, and she was going to get the wheelchair right, but she still wanted to be lovely. But Betty Davis was very clear, I'm going to win an Oscar for this, and I'm going to make this a horror show of a human. And picked out, and that all is true. And Robert Osborne had talked about that years ago, that they could have afforded makeup artists, but Betty Davis said no one will do it, and I think Joan got rid of hers, not understanding why Betty was getting rid of hers. I think that's part that they left out, that Betty got rid of.
They do show Joan Crawford's Jessica Lange. They do show Joan doing her makeup herself before the scene starts.
And I think that in their contracts that Betty Davis had already said she was going to put together the character. If I'm not mistaken, then Joan just got rid of hers, because I think they had the money for makeup, because everybody else,
Sure.
movie makeup is because it's what's her face's first
But
movie.
when they're in the dressing room for Betty Davis, and the girl's like, odd story, same wig worn, blah 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 blah, but I don't think anybody's redone it, and she's like perfect. And then she zipped through those dresses. She goes, I want her to be psychotic or whatever, disturbed or whatever she said.
Yeah.
And when she comes together, I'm like, holy shit! It was so fantastic.
And that part was not exaggerated. And Robert Osborne had talked about that she put that look together herself, because she said no one would do this to me. Someone would have stopped. Someone would have been afraid to make Betty Davis look like this. They would have shit their pants and thought they were going to get screamed at. So she wanted to be alone and develop that. And so that's coming up. The whole thing about the Oscar ceremony is coming up, and that's where
lose the shoulder pads. You're a reclusive former whatever. You haven't seen the sunlight for 20 years.
She wore these cone tits for the whole movie. That it is kind of funny, because you do notice them right away. Of what's wrong with her boobs?
Yeah, you're a recluse who's got a hell of a rack. I don't know what the hell that's going on there. But no, I have
just cross your heart, man.
I loved it, but I agree with what you're saying. I think a lot of people are they wanted a Mommy Dearest movie to show up on this, and it's not. And I love that it's not.
It's not.
It's
right,
not
because,
an over the top. It's legitimately them.
And that is one person's. That is Christina's take on her mother. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's a fascinating, it's a ballsy performance for a woman who was beloved. That's one of the reasons why Faye Dunaway's career tanked afterwards, was because she caricaturized. She kind of, and she was still a goddess. She
made a caricature out
of Joan Crawford,
right.
And people still really liked Joan Crawford at the time. It was not the time to turn her into a cartoon. But then, unfortunately, that's the cartoon that 30 years later, 35 years later, that's the cartoon that everyone knows. Yeah.
Right, but it inspired me so much today to enjoy the camp of Mommy Dearest.
This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
I just love all of it.
Do you have Don't Fuck With Me, Fellas?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Don't fuck with me, fellas!
Of course, you have to have that one. Or
why can't you treat me the way I would be treated by any stranger on the street?
And I think I'm just going to have...
Because I'm not one of your fans. That's the better line.
Because I am not one of your fans.
But this one, I love this line so much.
That's when you know the movie's gone too far.
For so many things.
I'm on the board of directors of this lousy company.
I just love that. So many great lines out of that movie. Very campy. But still, just the subtlety of them digging each other back and forth in that movie. And I also thought when they're at dinner at Hedda's house and she sets the recorder up on the center of the table, I'm like, oh, wouldn't you just give your eye teeth for that tape to really... I'm sure it existed at the time. Yeah. I'm sure that's a real thing. But it got re-recorded over many, many years ago. Who knows? I mean, there may be an archive of Hedda Hopper recordings. And if so, somebody please go get them.
Yeah.
Because those
I'll
would
wait
be...
a year.
Right.
Good
those
Lord.
would be fabulous. Mm-hmm. To literally have heard that dinner party on that tape, oh, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah. So, I mean, it really is fun television. But it's
really
Ryan
is.
Murphy, so hopefully he's going to stay to the... People versus O.J. Simpson, Ryan Murphy, and not the haunted horror show that goes off the rails episode 6 of every season into okay, settle down.
Right.
You can't employ every actress that's ever worked.
Yes,
Right.
he can.
Yes, he can.
Yes, he can.
But so far, it's great. And I think Sarandon's playing her very, very well.
I do
very
too.
well.
Nothing against Susan Sarandon, nothing against her at all, but Jessica Lange is just in a whole nother league in that. Like,
Oh no, but they're just both fabulous.
she's painting with all the colors of the wind there. She is double widening that performance.
It's a rare Pocahontas reference there, my friend. That's a rare and treasured Pocahontas reference.
I can do it.
Look at you. Look at all the good you do. My gosh.
It's just lovely. I'm looking so forward to it. In fact, somebody had posted on Facebook that they were watching it the next night. And I'm like, oh dear God, did I miss? Was there like 2 nights in a row? So I jumped in and, though I have the DVR set to record every time it ever appears.
Right.
But no, again, next Sunday night, I will be anxiously awaiting.
Yeah, we have that and the When We Rise.
Yeah.
We have
We Will
those
Rise.
two.
I haven't watched that one yet.
We have those
that was When We Rise.
saved.
Is it When We Rise?
I thought it was When. My
I
mom,
clearly haven't watched it, so why am I correct?
Mom
we
watched,
haven't, yeah.
Mom watched them all, stayed up, like, she texted me at 2 in the morning. Like, I watched them all. I'm
Wow.
like, what?
There you go, Mama
Yeah,
Di.
she's been going.
Yeah, with
Oh,
my
her.
schedule last week, I couldn't fit it in. But it's all, now my new thing is it's all on demand.
No, and we have it DVR'd. Like,
It
we
is,
have it all
yeah.
sitting there waiting, but we want to be able to sit down and watch all of them, kind of do a...
Yeah.
Oh.
I like
And
that better,
enjoy
too. I
'em.
like to binge.
yeah.
I get frustrated when I have to wait a week for
I know,
something now. I'm
yeah.
like, what the
Yeah.
what in the
I don't
bleeding
wanna wait.
fuck is
Whose
this?
idea was this bullshit?
What kind of double wide is
Instant
between
30
me and
minutes a
Instant
week. How is that
gratification.
enough?
Instant.
Not
Oh, and then
allowed, not allowed.
Harrison has a book club suggestion. We're a couple books behind.
Excellent. I'm going to pull up my Amazon right now.
So this one is called The Chronicles of I'm assuming you're pronouncing it Alcea, Alsea. Chronicles of Alcea. Girl on girl action. I forgot what else she said in the room.
Wait,
Girl on
stand
girl
by.
action. What the hell? What have we?
can't.
Yeah, well, apparently you have.
I bet that...
Allegedly.
Just guessing.
These are
I've
good
seen your Subaru.
I'm just
These
looking
are
at the
good
hat.
points. These are fair point.
I'm
Fair
just-
point,
Why would
sir.
you think I'm a woman? Mainly that hat.
Carl! You've
All
known me
right,
for
what is Harrison's book title again?
Chronicles of Alcea.
Why would you think
How do I spell that?
Alsea.
I'm going to find that? That is a funny line.
Carl. No, I have
Oh, it's a series.
It is a series. It looks to be a very fantasy series based on cover art alone, really. And the fact that it's a series. Okay, so volume 1. I'll investigate.
Okay.
Add to list. Because I've started on the first book of the Missy Owl book club.
Oh, are you reading
I've started you. Yes, I am. And I'm so like intrigued and terrified all at the same time. First of all, I've been reading a lot of like 5th grade like kid fiction.
Yeah.
So this is a very like grown-up subject matter, and now I'm just kind of like on the edge of my seat like what's going to happen? Is he going to what? Oh, but now he's in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been sitting up, reading.
Exciting.
It is very exciting, and it's well written. I suggested it to another friend, someone who doesn't usually text me. I'm pretty sure she meant to text someone else, and which happens.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure she was intending to text someone named Kate, and texted Kat instead.
Fair.
Which is fine. It's
You're
just-
almost there, honey. You're almost there.
You're almost home, Mrs. Garrett.
It's almost home.
But anyway, so I get this text that says, hey, I just finished Big Little Lies or Little Big Lies, whatever the HBO series is. Like, she says, I just finished that. Now I'm kind of looking for something to read. And so I responded. I said, well, I just, was recommended this as a friend, and I'm about to start it. I ordered the physical book because I'm having trouble with my attention span and digital reading. So Amazon had recently marked down the paper book. I got it for $7 and some odd cents, and
Oh, there you go.
yeah, and ordered the paperback, and so I was eagerly awaiting its arrival the next day. And I said, I just recommended that. In any event, the friend that I was talking to, she said, I tried it, I read a couple of chapters, and she didn't like the style of writing, because the book is called You, and so it's written like that.
Yeah.
Like someone's talking to
Almost a train of thought.
Yeah, it's like it kind of reminds me of what may have been in all of those notebooks from Seven when they found the dude's apartment, and they were just like notebooks. It kind of like I was like, this could have been.
Oh, that's a good way to describe that.
This could have been in all of those notebooks.
Oh, that's a really good way.
It's very exciting and very fun to read. But yeah,
I'll have it finished by next week's show.
Oh, good. Well, that's ambitious. I'll try.
So this Chronicles of Alcia, written by Fletcher Delancey, writes a novel she wants to read where women are smart and in charge. Her female characters are comfortable with power, whether it's in a high-stakes political game or in the bridge of a spaceship, featuring rich science fiction fantasy settings and the tradition of people I've never heard of. She's created a world where women and men are not limited by arbitrary gender roles. She specializes in vivid world building, crafting intelligent, intricate plots that pull you in and don't let go.
All right.
So it sounds good. Hard science fiction political intrigue with the emotionally complex character interactions of literary fictions.
I'm in.
So
it's on the list.
There you go. So I put it on my list too. Harrison, if you're still listening, we're in the book club, but you are pretty much fourth. But
oh, and I already have number 5 picked out too. It's called. Let me get to my list. Wait. Go to lists.
Keep going. I'm doing something totally different.
That's good.
I may not even be part of the show anymore tonight.
But you know what? It's happened to all of us at one point or another.
You llama with hat saying?
Right. We're gonna show that one. It's episode 3 has got the line, but I've decided we have to have it, and I'm gonna show it, not just listen to it. We have to see it.
Number 5 in the book club should be Lincoln in the Bardo.
Oh, Lincoln.
Bardo.
Hi ho the Dario, it's Lincoln in the Bardo.
So it's
B-A-R what?
B-A-R-D-O.
I don't know
Where's
why.
the synopsis?
Oh, I just.
Did you just see a thing about that? Because it was just in the paper the other day.
Yeah, I just saw
like 2 weeks ago.
That looks really
It
good.
looks really good, yeah, because it's about a grieving President Lincoln and the ghost of his recently departed son. And it's supposed to be kind of like a dark comedy and like a little bit emotional and
yeah, that looks
it
really.
It looks really interesting. And
I
fun.
have that on my list too. So, and the last thing I want to say about Feud is she's hiding under a lot of makeup, and now I have to go to
who is
no,
Jessica
the
Lange?
one that's playing Mamacita.
Yeah, and I don't recall ever hearing that name anywhere. Does it come after Barbara and Carol Ann? Does it come after them? Because the kids were young in that.
Oh.
In the movie Mommy Dearest, she's got the kids in the house.
No idea.
The kids are no longer in the house in the movie. Or in Feud. So I'm assuming she's a housekeeper that came later.
I have no idea the time frame, but the actress that plays her, Jackie Hoffman, is from the original cast of Hairspray, where she plays all the roles. She's the women's prison guard. She's what's her face's mother. In the movie, they made it all different characters, and they got rid of the whole prison. They got rid of the whole "Welcome to the Dollhouse" song.
Oh, sure.
But she played like 6 or 7 roles in the play, and she's this funny-looking woman, but she is so good, hidden under all this makeup, and she's funny in this. Like she's
good.
She's got some moments to shine.
She walks out and hands her a Pepsi bottle. That just cracked.
Turns out she's got 2 episodes of Difficult People. She was in the reboot of Gilmore Girls. She was in Birdman, yep. Sidetracked. The New Normal.
Oh, I forgot she wasn't the New Normal. But she is so funny. So if you have the Hairspray original Broadway cast, she's the one playing the 18 different roles.
Oh, okay.
Or however many she played. And she is just a funny woman. And the minute she walked on as Mamacita, I was like, oh, Jackie Hoffman's got another job. Somebody else loves her like I do.
Yeah.
And when they open up the dressing room door, it's small and it's dirty. Come on, Mamacita. I was
Let's
like,
get to work.
That's fantastic.
Totally agree with you.
We were going to make a movie in 2 hours, but first we're going to clean this fucking place.
Exactly.
It's just a delight. So a big shout out to Jackie Hoffman because I was a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it for entertainment.
All right. Indulge me. We're going to. We have to watch this episode of Llamas with Pets because it's got that line about why he thinks she's a girl, and I think it's just justifiable. So let's play it right here. Here we go.
Carl Carl, we're supposed to be on vacation.
I don't know about you, but I am having a wonderful time here.
You toppled the South American government, Carl.
The people have spoken. Viva la resistance.
You pushed the resistance leader into a giant fan.
He was a traitor and a scoundrel.
He was trying to stop you from pushing other people into a giant fan.
Oh, that was a foot. I appear to have swallowed an entire person.
That would be the hotel bartender.
Well, that explains why my mojito is taking so long.
It was horrifying. Your mouth unhinged like a snake.
Wow, that sounds pretty awesome.
I can't go anywhere with you, Carl.
That hurt my feelings. Now we're both in the wrong.
I want to go home. We're leaving.
In that case, I should probably mention that I filled our luggage with orphan meat.
What?
Well, I'm building a meat dragon, and not just any meat will do.
You know what? Forget it. I'm not even shocked anymore.
Ah, that's no fun.
This has become the norm for you, Carl.
I'll have to try harder next time.
Please don't.
I feel like I've been issued a challenge.
Carl!
It's too late now. You. I totally don't remember your name.
We've known each other for 3 years, Carl.
And what an impression you've made.
My name is Paul.
What?
I said my name is Paul.
Oh. I thought you were a woman.
Why would you think that?
Mostly the hat. Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have some pictures to delete from my computer.
Are you sure?
I don't know. It's the simplicity of, well, if you'll excuse me, I have some pictures to delete from my internet.
Now we're both in the wrong.
You.
I do enjoy. Oh, for Christ's sakes, that's just a good time, I think.
That is.
Oh, for crying out loud. Well, let's continue on with the jocularity if we can.
Other things that happen on the internet.
And here we go.
Two things is what she brings. Two things is what she's talking about. Two things, important little things. That is what she's spouting out.
You just need two things.
That means two things.
Let's get two things clear.
And then two things about yourself.
And I've come to share with you one of two things. No, two of two things. We're sharing two things right now.
There are only two things I can't stand in this world.
Quick, grab two things you love.
It can be two things.
Only two things in the world I'm scared of.
Rise of two things.
Remember two things.
I believe in two things.
Guys are only after two things.
What's better, doing two things at once or just one?
Never half-ass two things. Whole ass one thing.
Two Things with Kat Carlson, sponsored by the Kat Carlson Memorial VIP Lounge.
The memorial is silent. Well, this feels like, so between misgendering llamas and the conversation that was recently happening in the chat room.
Misgendering llamas.
I feel like, well,
Yeah,
I feel like this is a good time to talk about today, as it turns out, was International Women's Day. Congratulations. Well
I thought
done.
it was tomorrow, actually.
No, tomorrow is the day without a woman.
Oh, I thought that
we
they
celebrate
were
them,
doing
then we
that,
don't have any.
Then we don't have any. And then we show.
Today.
Okay. I thought it was the 8th.
Yay,
That's
women.
Right, my bad.
I don't know. I'm looking at this thing that says it's today, so.
No, that's cool.
And they were saying in the chat room that it was today. But
Yeah.
maybe it's tomorrow.
But tomorrow,
It is,
tomorrow is here in the United States. Organizers are attempting to provide the country with a day without a woman. I'm unfortunately not participating. I'm going to go to work and do the things that I do. But all of the organizers and all of the material that I have read on tomorrow's events, if you cannot or will not take the day off and really provide that absence in your circles, which is understandable. For example, in the elementary school that my kids go to, they would have to close the school because if none of the women showed up, there would be 2 men.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 men in
really?
that building.
That's okay.
A principal and a
Yeah.
custodian.
Sure.
Wow.
The entire rest of the staff are women.
Wow.
Right.
I just assume more male teachers. That's what I was
No,
thinking.
And
not
if
at
there
an elementary
are
level.
older.
You see more. You see more male teachers at
High school.
at a high school or a junior high school level. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know. I don't know if it's a money thing. I don't know if it's a like a relatability thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I think women have much more patience to deal with kids.
Because on the other hand, my special ed student has a man for a teacher.
Right.
Like a very kind and patient, wonderful guy. We like him a lot. So anyway, in either school.
I have been a special ed student for many years, and I have learned a lot from men.
Sure. Sure.
You're a double wide idiot.
I'm not even sure about that statement.
I'm not either.
All my shoes slip on. No tying.
Let me show you a product called Hickeys. We'll get to you after the show.
Crocs, please. All right.
So according to the calendar,
Good God.
the 8th is International Women's Day.
Well, HuffPo needs to get on the board.
Well, is it-
board.
well-
Is that anyway?
Is it tomorrow where they are?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Where?
No, I mean where HuffPo is.
Oh, there you go. That's true.
No. Anyway, go ahead.
In any event, tomorrow for those that are not able to participate for whatever the reason, like you have an essential job or you can't afford the time off,
You
or
got bills to pay.
you didn't plan accordingly and cancel all your shit and agree to do things, which is my case.
There you go. Planning.
Yeah, because I legitimately could have just said nope, don't want to, but I've agreed to it, so I'm gonna go. It's crucial work too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And both are on the same day. National Women's
Okay.
Day and Day Without a Women Day are the same. That's how
Oh.
they want you to celebrate Women's
I stand
Day.
corrected. But for those of you who may be listening now and are planning to go to work, the idea is to wear red in solidarity.
Okay.
Solidarity. So wear your red tomorrow to hopefully visually point out. Look at all these women around us. What would we do without them?
Right.
Okay.
I'm in.
Well, and that was the hard part for, like you said, with schools, with elementary and women. So if nurses or doctors or this, what would
Right.
happen then with social work? Like for
Right.
instance,
Yeah.
there's people don't take the Down syndrome off because
Right, but then you're forced to
Right.
do what these jobs need to be better paid.
No, absolutely, and that's what my mom and I were talking about. Because you sit there like,
So you do kind of have
do
to.
I do this?
Yeah.
Or don't I? And if you do, what are the ramifications to those families?
Right.
And that's the reason. It's not, and for me, that was
Sure.
the reason for me.
Sure,
And I
sure,
just
sure.
thought,
I mean,
well,
you're probably correct, but that never crossed my mind. For me, it never crossed my mind.
absolutely. I would agree with that. That's why it's very difficult
In the-
to get male providers.
Based
at
on our
the same age.
conversation of how I thought I was surprised there weren't more male teachers. Amina in the chat room, if you're listening to this at a later date, she says male teachers are harder to employ for younger students because people fear of pedophiles being in the classroom. And again, not thinking that way, it never occurred to me.
Right. And that's like I was saying, the same thing with providers later on. When people have younger kids, a lot of times, up until maybe about 15, 16, they do not want guys, typically, again, they don't want guys as providers. And that doesn't matter if it's a male child or a female child.
Okay.
And then right around that age, people are a little bit more open.
They
to-
lose interest okay.
Right. That's what people,
Crazy.
I think that's what people kind of look at. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it really is interesting. So I was like, come on, this guy is fantastic.
Right.
And
And every once in a while, like people are like, oh, we really want a female nurse. And I'm like, okay. I mean,
that's interesting to
Well,
me.
my name's Val. I'll be outside if you need me.
I call you on the phone, you think you got one.
Right.
A true story.
When this all goes to shit, don't call me.
But that happens. It not all the time, but it happens enough. And then there's patients that
Sure.
I'm like, I won't take that. Like there are situations where I'm like, nope, I'm not getting,
Not you.
not
no.
putting my foot in that mucky muck.
Okay.
And that's fair. You know what I mean? There's,
I'll take a different kind of horror, but that's not somewhere where I'm comfortable. Like,
Fair.
Yeah. But anyway, I think the news will be kind of interesting to see how this unfolds. I've seen a couple of headlines about different schools closing, and some people are very serious. Living here in the apathetic Arizona as we do,
yeah.
I don't think it'll be quite as widespread as some places, but.
And these things, the revolution will not be convenient, people. So
It won't.
when
Right.
it's
You're-
time,
you're eventually
it's
gonna
gonna
have
take
to-
some hardships, and people are gonna have to make some changes. But if we don't start recognizing like women's pay and women's work, then people aren't going to go into those professions,
right.
and you're going to be not inconvenienced for one day, but inconvenienced for a really long time.
Right.
When that job is no longer palatable for
Right.
that level of schooling.
Right. And but the idea of getting people to actually do that,
right?
Like you were saying, I mean, either the commitment was there or some.
Oh, sure. And
same
mine's
thing
all
with,
excuses and
no. But day
blah, blah, blah.
without was it day without
Day without an immigrant, sure.
or whatever. And I say or whatever because some people were saying Day Without a Mexican, but I really think that this year was even more so Day Without an Immigrant. But folks can't necessarily do that because there were a number of people that were saying that they couldn't do it because just financial.
Right. I can't afford the time off. I can't afford to lose my job over this.
Right. Because
like that's a bigger issue.
Wasn't that in Arkansas or Oklahoma? I feel like it was in Arkansas.
Sounds like a Midwestern.
But there was a restaurant that got rid of everybody. The people
really?
That
sounds like
and apparently every other year, because this isn't a new thing, that when people went and walked out of the job for that day, they were fine with it. But this year,
because it's all heightened, and every redneck who plays Eastbound and Down as they drive their Confederate flag through a city is all like, "Well, fire them."
That's right.
Yeah, well, and that depends on the state, and that depends on the laws, and which actually nicely segues me to the second thing. Did you get that picture?
I did. I am ready. I am ready for it, and I'm not going to use the Yosemite Sam voice if I can.
Being a right to work state here in Arizona, kudos to the Arizona Republic. Today, their cover story today is this, and the title reads transgendered Arizona's not transgendered, it's transgender. Arizona's face workplace hurdles. And it's an entire cover story. It's a big long story about this person, Kalen Smith, and the troubles that he's had, during transition and while trying to work and trying to be respected, and the plain fact that at any moment he could be fired. You know what I mean? At any moment, granted, working in a gay bar gives me a certain amount of protection, but, at any moment, any one of us could be fired for being gay. And there's no legal recourse in the state of Arizona
we can be married,
for any of us. Right.
Yeah.
I can get married on Monday, fired on Tuesday, and evicted on Wednesday, and all of those things are legal.
Yep.
Right
Absolutely.
now.
You wouldn't have any fight. Okay.
Yeah, but kudos to the Arizona Republic for making that their cover story today.
They've really been between the endorsement of Hillary that they did last year, and for this, I think this is it's kind of been a
well. There's a feeling on people's parts of like we don't need to be on the wrong side of history,
right?
Like when they make the movie of this year, we don't need to stand
we don't
with
need
the white
to be the villains,
yeah.
right? We don't need to be
because this
the
train's
Nazis
coming
on
whether you're on it
right.
or not.
But I guess what I'm saying, what I was trying to say was, I'm hoping that they're not running these stories and doing what they're doing out of fear of being maligned with the wrong side of history. Somebody's in there going, this is important. We should cover this.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's a combination of both. Like,
right.
No, it probably is. I just was hoping more for somebody's sitting in the corner going, I got a story idea that I think we should probably cover.
Sure.
And I just think that's a little more brave of them. Because I think for them, the first time ever in the history of the Arizona Republic, for them to have endorsed a non-Republican
that was the
candidate
first time ever.
Yeah. That was a huge thing. Granted, I think, again, anybody with with the shit show we got going on now, they should have. But anyway, I just think champion them for being brave to do this. I think so.
And I'm happy to be a subscriber. And if you've been thinking about subscribing, they have digital only options. They have Sunday only options. Like
Wednesday.
Give these people some money so that they can keep doing
the
good work that they're doing. Because beyond this, like this was a great cover story. But beyond this, there's a couple of columnists that are really laying out the terrible things that are happening in the state legislature. There's Lori Richards is one of their writers that almost every day has something like, "Hey, attention, people!
This is happening.
They're trying to take away your right to protest. Right. Hey, people, like pay attention. Look over here. Look over here. Like they're trying to do really good work." And they're not going to keep doing it if we don't support it. So up on the soapbox, here I am.
Yeah. Go
subscribe. If you're here in Arizona, go subscribe to the Arizona Republic. Give them some money for something, even if it's digital only, and you only look at it once in a while for headlines.
Or even if you don't. Even if you don't look at it. If you're one of those people that just can't be bothered to read, you're 75 cents a week or day or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're still you're supporting it. Even if you don't want to take the time to read it, that's fine. You're
it's
still supporting
cheap. I think it's like $13. I get a paper every Sunday and 7-day a week digital access.
Oh, I didn't realize you were doing. I
yeah.
didn't realize you were doing that.
Yeah, because I do Sunday, Wednesday. I get an actual newspaper, and then I get 5 stories a day sent, like the 5 top headlines a day sent to me through my email. And then I have the digital copy, and it's for Gannett. It's not just for the Arizona Republic. It's USA Today, so you get the whole Gannett. Yeah. Anything that's under the Gannett umbrella gets you there.
And it's nice. And the weekday papers aren't lengthy, so I log into the digital issue fairly often.
Wednesdays must have the ads.
Wednesdays has the ads. That's why they send that one to you, because that one's.
I very often just recycle the Wednesday.
It's got the grocery and the coupons, but
because it's this big.
Yeah, the weekday issues are not that long. It takes me about half an hour to go through and read the stories that I want to read and scan the headlines that I want to scan, and because I don't read like midweek cover to cover. I look for headlines. I read Sunday cover to cover pretty much.
Okay.
But yeah, at $13 a month. It's less than the Taco Bell I'm about to go order.
Sure.
Right now.
Sure.
Beautifully. Will you get married there?
I won't.
I want to see her in that burrito dress because that would be fantastic.
She's going to need it pants. We've already covered
literally not happening unless it's a pantsuit.
Abby, my future sister-in-law, I just might as well because that's what's going to happen.
Is there an announcement that's coming?
Breaking news, I guess.
We'll see, whatever.
Double wide on the way.
3.
I like we'll see, whatever.
Whatever.
It's probably going to happen. You sound real excited about it.
Well, I am, but I mean,
I feel I will. Can I
mean, we just have to. You have to live together, I think, first, because that's.
Can I just
thing.
put on my Sega cat for a second and say that dogs will be welcome at the ceremony?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Is this one of those weddings I actually have to go to?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, but do not involve me in it. I swear to God, don't involve me in it.
You're going to give her away.
No, we can't. Can you make a dog like a terrier do that?
Swiffer.
A golden retriever, do something.
Swiffer, take me down the aisle.
Yeah, right, Swiffer.
Clean up the.
I have to be involved officially.
You could ride a vacuum cleaner down the aisle. He can mow.
By the way,
you better go and get
the
ordained.
last wedding I was involved in.
By the way,
wound
how
up
about that?
What?
Him.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Do I have to be involved?
I don't like to be involved in things.
I know you don't.
No.
Pretend it's a pageant.
Yeah.
Oh, you to just announce it? Now coming down the aisle is Diane Ryer. She's the mother of one of the brides.
Some have described as a dress.
Sponsored by Taco Bell.
That would be awesome to have you guys pitch perfecting the wedding.
We'd like to remind you tonight's wedding sponsored by Subaru. Subaru.
Totally.
Oh my
it's
God.
built with love.
That would be fantastic.
Can I be on that panel? I want to be on the panel. I want to be on the panel.
God,
or maybe we do it all in honor of the lesbians in LPGA. We do it all as golf announcers.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, now she's coming down the aisle. She seems a brisk walk.
Do you remember
it's
the
a white dress?
The SNL skits where it would be about lady sports, but it was always the things to commercials for like lady products for all the different ways they would describe douches.
No.
There's a vinegar and water mix. I don't know. We're screwing up your segment. I'm sorry.
I'm going to spend the rest of the show
that's
looking
good.
for this.
That's kind of the end of my segment. Now I'm stunned by this announcement.
Now I am too.
The future sister-in-law, Abby, had something that I think kind of coincides with what you're saying for this Lori. Sorry.
I think it's Richards or Roberts. I don't know.
As far as, hey, by the way, even though there's sleight of hand going on, this is still happening. You know,
yeah.
They're trying to show you.
Roberts. Lori Richards is related to me. Lori Roberts.
No.
Lori
She's
Roberts.
a close relative.
No, I think she's a cousin or something.
She might be also an investigative person. We don't know.
I
don't know about your cousin.
Yep.
I'm going to look it up. Cousin, what are you doing?
It's she said, in case anyone is getting too sidetracked, the following bills have been introduced. The HR 861 about terminating Environmental Protection Agency. HRC 610, vouchers for public education. HR 899, terminate the Department of Education. Okay, right there. JR 69, repeal rule protecting wildlife. HR 370, repeal Affordable Care Act. 354, defund Planned Parenthood. 785, national right to work to end unions.
Yeah, because right to work is only about unions.
Right.
It's why movies get filmed here, because you don't have to belong to a union.
That's right.
To hold a job in Arizona.
Right. And also why actors who are union actors sometimes can't get work because then they won't be a scab. That's not the right term.
The scab?
Yeah, that's not the right word though.
No,
if you're on strike and you work, you're a scab.
Oh, that's true.
Right, but I mean, I've known other actors who can't get work here because they did a job somewhere else and they are now union.
And so they have to be paid more.
And then they equity. That's what I was working on my head. Yeah, I'm gonna continue.
Mobilize 83 is mobilizing against sanctuary cities. 147, criminalizing abortion, Prenatal Non-Discrimination Act, and 808, sanctions against Iran. So that's just the 10.
I was saying, and that's
I mean,
national
my God.
politics. So that's the
That's
United
right,
States
that's right.
House of Representatives. The HR stands for House Resolution. And as it turns out, like
What's HJR? Unless that's just a
joint resolution.
Okay. Thank you.
You got it. As it turns out, it seems to be, the more I pay attention and the more I read, it seems to be just the thing to do to write a crazy resolution and fling it out there and see if it catches anything.
So that Donald can use a crayon and be like,
Right. So as we learned in Schoolhouse Rock, it's got to go through the House and pass that. It's got to go to the Senate and pass that. And then it goes over to the White House or to Mar-a-Lago, wherever they send it.
Yeah, wherever they send it.
Wherever the dumpster fire is.
Right. Wherever that is, and gets a signature or a veto. So House resolutions, like there's going to be a ton of scary ones, like kind of just flopped out there. And the important thing is to kind of pay attention to where they go and who's, kind of putting that out there and who's getting traction on it, because then it has to go, you write your resolution and then it has to go to committee, right? We've heard this whole, it's out of committee, it's out. So then it goes to like a smaller group that says, no, Marco Rubio.
Right.
This is Marco's a senator, but
sure. Still,
this is some crazy bullshit. We can't put this out to the rest of the House. And there are a few people with a lot of power that have a say in what gets heard and what doesn't, and what gets voted on and what doesn't. The reason that we don't have a 9th Supreme Court justice is that Paul Ryan has all of that power. Or no, that's Senate.
But there's also
But there's other things. Paul Ryan has all of that power. He can decide not to vote on shit.
Okay.
Yeah, no up or down vote. But you'll have, and one of the things that happens is the whip, which is what the character on House of Cards was at first. That means that's the person that's going to go around and tell you, he's going to like whip up votes and tell you, can this come out of committee at the way it stands now? Because you don't want to be shut down. So that person goes around and says, like, we've got a pretty good shot at 52 votes.
Right, all the politicking.
Yeah, so
bless you.
Let it out.
That's a lot of what the whip does.
McConnell's the one that blocks all the shit in the Senate.
He blocks the shit in the Senate. But whoever the whip is, that's an important job, because that's the one that tells you, can this resolution get any further?
But are these things, so because you remember how like every couple of years we say this. Now this is just crazy and whatever, and you always get mad and you're always like, this goes on every time.
Yeah.
Has this stuff been happening like
the whole time?
The whole time.
Those kind of crazy bills?
The whole time. Yeah, well, and
but maybe
since
because
the Republicans only had the Senate for a couple sets.
No, but I should have been more clear. Like even when the Republicans aren't maintaining control. So
they're
Democrats
still passing those resolutions.
And don't think Democrats don't flop out some.
That's what I mean, right?
Yeah. Clunkers too.
But I mean, that's kind of scary stuff.
It's super scary stuff, but it's kind of a testament to that the system works, despite our best efforts to make it not. A lot of times, the system does work. For example, locally here in Arizona, the racketeering protest bill died. Okay. It's dead. It's not a thing anymore. They had it all ramped up. They were ready. They were going to take away your house for being at a protest.
Right.
And one guy, the president of the Senate, said, "No, this is like, we're done with this. Everybody, shut this shit down.
Okay.
This is not what we want to be.
This is not what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Right.
Because I did hear it go away, or that went away, but I didn't realize that it was. Yeah. It was that. Okay.
Yeah. To call it protesting, racketeering. I mean, because it's not going to hold up. And then a lot of times, and what Trump's had a problem with, I hate to say his name, but he's had problems with, he does not have intelligent people around him, so he doesn't have lawyers.
He has Kellyanne Conway.
Yeah, but he doesn't have intelligent people and lawyers drawing up these executive orders, so they fall apart the first time they get to the judge.
Right.
Yeah.
And
where
the
Obama,
immigration
a Harvard law lawyer, Harvard law review, and he knows his constitutional law. He's got people around him that could write the things that would be like, it would be a surprise if this didn't hold up, because they went in they wrote something to win the court battle.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, like an example of the system works. It's painful. Like, this is terrible and painful and scary, but the system does work. the way it's intended to so far, despite our best efforts to burn it down. Because, like, the travel ban, the first one wasn't ever going to hold up in court.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? The second one may not hold up in court.
But
they
he at
took
least,
religion out of it,
but he,
right?
he finally had a way to, well, it's been watered down so much now.
Right.
That now if you have a visa, you have a visa. They can't really fuck with you. But they had a lawyer look at it. They finally realized, oh, this is going to hit a lawyer within hours.
Sure.
They can have a circuit court judge look at this and shoot it down. So they needed a lawyer to come in and be like, here's what they're going to kick out. Like, you love this sentence, lawyer's going to kick this, or judge is going to kick this out. You like this, judge is going to kick it out. And you end up with the watered down what's left of it, and now you have to find out, like, is it equal protection? Is it, does it satisfy the 14th Amendment? Do you get the Title IX thing that comes in all the time, that all of a sudden the people that pass Title IX are like, what the fuck were we thinking? We just wanted the girls to play soccer.
Right. Exactly. Damn it.
Yeah.
What also drives me crazy with all of them is they put all the riders in them, and that drives me insane.
Oh, the pork.
With all
The
legislation.
pork. Right. Where this is funding for a bridge.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to use this hypothetically, funding for a bridge, but there's 5 or 6 other things in it, and then what happens is sometimes things that sound good get shot down because somebody realized, why are we funding the KKK in this bill?
Right.
Like something is hidden in there.
Because the whip has to go around and be like, I need you to vote for this. So how about we fund this bridge, but we at the bottom of it we stick in $30 million for your bridge to nowhere in Alaska.
Right. So shit like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I realize that part of it is to help get stuff done quicker. I get that's part of it, but some things I just like, can we just line item all this shit?
But then there's stuff like with FEMA, and this is what they were bitching about when it came to Hurricane or Superstorm Sandy, whatever it was called.
Superstorm.
That they found out that in the money that was going, they wanted money to research storm centers. They wanted to find out about ocean warming, and they wanted ways to track storms to prevent it. And that sounded like climate change. So the people from the South were like, oh no, you can't have that. And that's when they started to do it, not realizing that when they were asking for money in the South, that was part of it too.
Right, you get the same
because
benefit.
They wanted to get better and better at, if we're gonna, that's fine.
Katrina, we can figure that out.
We're gonna bring in housing. We're gonna help you. We're gonna help you clean up. But we need to know how to fix this.
Right.
So we need some money for this. And when the Southerners found out when it came time to give money to the North, when they found out, they were like, oh, wait a minute, what's all this shit?
Yeah.
Because
We're
they just took the cash the first times. They were like, yes, my people need money. I don't care what else is in this bill. But they started reading it and got shitty about Superstorm Sandy. And a lot of that was about tracking storms. And it's not NOLA. What's the organization? What's the people that track the storm tracker people?
There's NOAA.
Is it NOAA?
National Organization of Aeronautic. Whatever. But yeah, there's NORAD. NORAD.
It's not NORAD, but it's the storm. It's the
they
storm
track
chaser
Santa.
that track the storms and do all the models. They do the tracking of the hurricane models, and that's the thing they want to get better. Kind of like with tornadoes.
Yeah.
You know, if they can find a way to predict tornadoes and get their pass, they can save lives. And
right. But again, I'm sure that
is
some
it
people.
NOLA? It's NOLA.
No, it's NOAA. 2 A's.
So it's NOAA.
Okay.
The National Hurricane Center. NOAA stands for standby.
I just by stupid luck I was right on
but
that.
But when bills do get shot down with what you're saying because of all
the
that
National
the
Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
That when those things get shot down, it doesn't matter what side or who it is that's shooting them down. But going from the more liberal side of things, when somebody votes against something and you're like, but that's a great bill. Why,
right.
Because on the surface, we're like, God, why?
Right. Why would you fund children being helped, whatever?
Yes.
But I wish that when that happens, when it gets shut down and they do, I wish there was more of an outpouring of information about like, here's why I didn't. Put it back again. Without that, we're golden.
Yeah.
But I'm not funding.
And they have been very honest about that because people have been burned on that topic. So they really have fixed that where people will be like, this is what I objected to because it said you needed to, and it's mostly been Republican lawmakers who are like, well, there was something in here to stop gun purchases because a lot of times they do throw in stuff about gun provisions.
Yeah. And I think the thing to really combat that is a more engaged, educated, and savvy electorate.
No, absolutely.
The more we're paying attention, the less they can get away.
That would solve so many
So many
problems
things.
unilaterally,
So many things.
aside from just governmental things.
Follow Lori Roberts, not Lori Richards.
I think
as it
Lori
turns out, she's my
Richards is
great.
amazing.
She's
Yeah,
my
she's good
great
too.
aunt. She's my
Oh my
mother's
God.
aunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably she's been a reporter for years. She's your great aunt.
She's not a reporter at
Oh.
all. No, she's a home appraiser.
I
as it
assumed
turns
she was
out.
going to be
Yeah.
an investigative
Yeah.
person
yeah.
out there. She's in your family. She's got to know something.
Sure, she knows many things.
Menti.
Many
Menti
things.
things.
Many things.
Got it.
All right, that's all I got. We're out of time. What are we doing?
That's it. Well, we'll do this.
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
I would like to say for the record, it's been a long-ass time since we have been fucked up drunk anytime, during the show or during this segment at all.
Yep.
Just you know.
Well, I give it my best.
Oh, yeah.
You do it well.
Thank you.
Double one.
Thank you. So,
oddly, when I listen back, I make a little bit more sense.
are you drinking Ben?
I haven't listened
The
back
second
in
time you hear yourself, you understand
a
yourself.
long
Is what
time.
you just said.
Oh, is that? Oh, I actually answered the question, and I only joke about winks. Okay. God in heaven. My apologies to all.
Harrison, you're killing me right now with this comment.
Harrison in the chat room says they're talking about tornadoes and all kinds of junk in the chat room, and Harrison says we have tornadoes, but they're from God.
Not
We
the
are
climate.
climate.
We don't need to study that.
I read that
shit.
too fast. I first of all thought it said we have tomatoes, but I realized.
I love tomatoes.
Well, those are from God too.
Well,
do you like them?
Sure, I do. I enjoy
Say
it.
thank God.
I
when you
enjoy
eat
a
'em.
tomato. Not a ginger,
Oh, I
but a
just forgot
tomato.
the question.
Come on, Alfie.
Who would you, anybody, it's kind of a stupid question, but who would you like to interview? Like, who would you like to, like, sit down and just be like, I got 20 questions.
Dead or alive?
Either way.
JFK.
Oh, okay. But he's not going to know who killed him.
That wouldn't be one of my questions.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
One would be,
Who
why did you have the
killed
roof
you?
off?
Well, a lot of presidents open aired.
No, I know,
back in
but
the
I'm
day.
just saying, like, would you rethink the convertible dead guy?
Well,
I ask that
duh.
question?
Sure. That's like
Well, yeah.
that's like asking Lincoln if he'd go to the theater.
But other than that,
He
Mrs.
might have
Lincoln, how was
really
the
wanted
play?
to see
Yeah.
the play. You don't know. He might have chanced it. I don't know.
Despite the rumors, I've always denied that you were in My American Cousin the night that Ford was shot, the night that Lincoln was shot. That's in All About Eve.
Okay.
That's the name of the play he
Lost
was
me on
watching.
that
Was
All right. All right.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Who would you interview?
JFK or Harriet Tubman, I think.
Okay.
Those two.
That's such a hard question.
Wow, Harriet Tubman. That's interesting.
How big was the shovel?
Allegedly, according to
Just
our
kidding,
good friend Ben
guys.
Carson, she was
Yeah.
just operating a nice little bed and breakfast travel
That's
agency.
it. Well, yeah.
Well, they were all immigrants.
They were all
Bunch of
immigrants.
Oh,
With
they
a
were just
dream?
working hard.
With a dream of a
Just
better
working
tomorrow.
hard,
Coming to
working
America.
hard.
They're slaves.
Neil Diamond played.
Hooray!
Neil Diamond played them onto the mainland.
That's right.
The avocados.
On a boat, and on a ship.
Yeah.
I'm gonna interview an intoxicated Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Nice.
Oh, that's
I like
fun.
it.
Intoxicated, like
Yeah.
I want to get her boozy,
Loosen her up, yeah.
a little boozy, and then just have one of those nice like Barbara Walters, Katie Couric chats in the
She likes
chair.
she likes Chardonnay, so
Who
if I can
doesn't?
help you out. Yeah.
Who
There you go.
doesn't?
That's
Yeah,
funnier.
and have like, a little less interview and a little more conversation. But yeah, a boozy HRC.
I like it. Harrison's gonna Susan B. Anthony this shit. I like
Yeah.
it.
How did you sow the flag?
Not
That's
not
not
the
her.
same person. Betsy Ross.
Betsy
My
Ross.
bad.
Betsy Ross got it all sewn up.
100% wrong.
And so her answer
My
would
bad.
be, I didn't.
I didn't.
But
Fast
see, now I
interview.
know. Betsy Ross.
Wrong white
one.
lady.
Wrong one.
Yeah, yeah.
I was in the double wide.
For some reason, the first thing that comes to mind is I would want to go back to some of the great inventors, like Henry Ford, like Edison, like Westinghouse. I would want to go back to them and I'm just amazed at somebody who can come up with something that's never been done before.
Sure.
Like, how did you had nothing. What made you figure this out? How do you take a filament and put a carbon substance on it and it lights up and you create a light bulb? Like,
how'd you know what a filament was?
Right. What made you start thinking of all these things? Because when I watch those documentaries, like on History Channel or whatever, the building of America, when all of these people figured out how to drill for oil and how to make electricity and how to the assembly line with the car and all. I'm just, where did you come up with that? Because I'm not that
Who
person.
saw a potato in the ground and thought, let's eat that. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, could be another one, but I think I would go back to a lot
Who
of.
decided the 90,000 step process to eat an avocado is worthwhile.
Then it may be
Who's
like
that asshole?
inventors, or maybe a brain like Einstein, somebody who's, like, wow, really? I have less in common with Einstein than I do somebody more mechanical, like a Westinghouse or a.
Oh, I thought you were the same person.
Not at all.
Imagine my surprise.
No.
And when you talk about Edison, the motion picture camera, the phonograph, the light bulb. I mean, just where you kind of keep going, and you're like, for fucking real?
Yeah, or like even
oh my God,
Tesla.
Oh, Nikola Tesla would be a good one.
There's so many great ideas that came from these people that literally, no pun intended, built America. Like so many things were launched because of it. I mean, the powerhouse at Niagara Falls. That's
Robert Moses. That was his name.
Huge. Came to that. They figured out that AC was the way we were going to go. DC died from the standpoint of being the massive use for power, all because they went with Westinghouse. Oh, excuse me. My bad. Reverse of that.
Got it. I was like, wait a minute.
Now we're back to the beginning of the show. I don't know what anybody's talking about.
Doesn't matter.
Aaron, the question is, who would you want to interview? Live or dead, doesn't matter. You can't ask JFK if he'd drive with a convertible top.
He's gonna say no.
Apparently.
He died because of that.
Whatever.
And the bullet in his skull.
Yeah.
Well,
Leonardo.
It wasn't so much the firing of the gun; it was the bullet.
Because he was so genius and so ahead of his time. Like, you'd want to know, like, are you getting some of your answers from like outer space or
who was that?
In your head?
Da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh yeah, good, very.
Because he's the one that did the pictures of the helicopter, right? In like the 1500s, he dreamed up
Oh
a
shit,
helicopter.
we are way over. I didn't realize that.
I would be Stephen King, but he's still alive, so I would probably want to interview like Edgar Allan Poe and find out like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
All these people are crazy.
I have two questions. One.
Yeah,
what the fuck
exactly.
is wrong
Oh
with you?
yeah, a telltale heart.
Oh.
And what
gave me the
city did you
willies
die
when I
in?
was
Because I've been in like 17 tours of
there
cities
you
where
go.
they played.
Oh,
you
they say
died
he died
there.
here.
Yeah.
Maybe a part of him did. A part of me
My
died
gosh.
here.
Well, thanks to everybody in the chat room for playing along with us all evening.
Thank you.
There's so many names I can't even name them all. But anyway, thanks everybody for being with us. As we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.